Hello again. The San Francisco Shock just pulled off the clean 4-0 sweep over the Shanghai Dragons. And the San Francisco Shock look very good closing out the season. Everybody give them a hand. They really look good. And you know, typically 4-0 is the number that you want to see in Overwatch, but unfortunately for Shanghai Dragons, that's not the case. For all you Dragons fans out there, I want you to remember this though. There's only one direction you can go in the following seasons, and that is up. So please, keep the faith and stay positive, all right? All right, now, moving on to our final match of the night, our final match of the regular season. We have the Boston Uprising. Any Boston Uprising fans in here? There's a few going up against the Florida Mayhem. Now for the Florida Mayhem, this match right here they just want to end on a strong note. They're pretty much playing for pride. But the Boston Uprising, they've locked in a playoff spot, but to get the 3rd seed, they need to win against the Florida Mayhem. So there are some implications for this match. But before we get into the match, there's one more thing I want to say to everybody, to anybody who's been watching at home. Doesn't matter who you are, if you're a fan of Overwatch or not. If you're throwing 7s in the chat, I don't care who it is, I want to say thank you. It has been a pleasure and an honor being able to hold this mic for the entire regular season. To all you fans in here, it's been so much fun. So thank you so much. And with that, guys, let's get into the final match of the regular season with Golden Boy and the crew at the desk.
Thank you so much, Malik. It's the final match of the regular season. I'm Golden Boy with Brent and Reinforce. And yeah, I mean, here we are. This is it.
I can't believe it.
Wow. That's
happening.
Keep saying it so many times. All right, so we got Boston and Florida. Now, here's the thing. They're out for the Stage 4 playoff run. And Florida, as you know, Malik had mentioned before, this is a match more for pride. But as far as the overall playoff picture is concerned, Boston needs to win here in order for them to keep the number 3 seed. That will actually play a big role in who they play in the overall playoffs.
Oh yeah, and it's also huge for the money as well, the money implications of it as well. They don't really want to be dropping down. Actually, I believe the money is the same for 3rd and 4th seed, actually.
Yeah, but if you drop down to 5th...
You drop down to 5th? I don't think they can't. This is the last game of the regular season, Johnny.
I just tried you, Brent.
You just tested me.
Yeah.
That's why I only slightly dislike you.
He caught him off guard with the math. Okay, or not even, just facts actually. But you know, facts are feelings, whatever. Okay, so now let's dive into this here because there's a player that you've been bigging up like all season long. Man.
It is.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if this individual was paying you to say nice things.
No.
About that.
Listen, he is pure of heart, and that man is Striker, who I like to talk about. It wouldn't be a Boston Uprising death segment without me bigging up Striker, to be honest, because I do it every single time. But he's so good, isn't he? Like, this guy, you could make an argument that he was at least one of the best tracers in the league. I guess maybe not because he lost to Sabiobi, but you can still make the argument there.
Yeah.
And now he switched more over to the Widowmaker role. And again, I just have to pick it up because it's so cool to see how he is just essentially sat down, grinded out this hero, got good at it for his team, for the greater good. So, and now Boston are performing so much better because of it. And it really, you need that core Widowmaker as a foundation to really play well in this current meta.
Would you say he's one of the MVPs of the league?
I'm going to be having him as my T-Mobile MVP. I really am. That's one of my major votes because it takes a lot of commitment, a lot of determination to really just sit down and get good at a hero like that on that level.
I thought you were going to say it takes a lot of commitment and determination to make a vote for the MVP.
It does as well.
It does as well. That's right. You know, hashtag OWMVP. Okay.
He's second mine, so.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. All right. So, Reinforce, last game of the season for Florida.
Yeah.
This is more of a opportunity or a match of pride for this team.
Yeah, ending it on a high note. You of course going to season 2, you want to you know, be in a feel-good mood. You know, you want to end on a high note, feel like you've improved throughout the season. It's been tough. You know, we're not gonna lie, but overall,
remember that?
Yeah,
when they were happy.
Yeah, I'm just
Do you remember these moments when they were charging up Dragon Ball?
I want another one of those, man. I want another one of those entrances.
Give us a walkout, Florida, you know. Give us a solid walkout.
Yeah, but overall, I mean, really looking forward. The only way is up almost.
Yes.
For them as well. So it's been a tough season. They have the potential. They have the talent. It just didn't really work out. A few pieces just weren't working out for the team. They got coaching staff came in late, which they couldn't really adapt to. And then the meta changed. So they went from diving aggressively on Genji to playing passively again. And it just didn't work out for Florida Mayhem this season. But there is another season coming up, you know. So end it on a high note. Get a W here today.
That's
Exactly.
very optimistic of you, Johnny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
will say.
Usually you're not this optimistic, so that's quite nice.
Yeah.
It's a good change of pace for you. Optimism's a good
I like
color
happiness.
on you. You know, he likes happiness,
that.
this
Yeah.
guy. Unreal. Okay, so guys, I know we want to get right into this matchup, so let's go ahead and bring out your first team to the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the Boston Uprising. 25-14, but if they manage to get a win here, they will keep that third seed. Gladiators, though, they're hoping that Florida can pull it off.
Yeah, it would be impressive nonetheless if Florida do manage to topple Boston after they've been looking so much better. I'm happy to see as well, Neko was back in the lineup, you know,
Yeah.
he came back in the other day as well. It was mainly aim god across the board for the longest time in stage 4.
Yeah.
But now they've really got down to their cemented core roster once again.
I'm pretty
now that's
excited
time to see the result.
I'm pretty excited about this guy right here as well. Mistakes, because his
That's
Tracer
not
play.
mistakes. I know, I'm
Well,
with you.
well,
Don't worry.
yeah, you
Continue.
delayed me. Mistakes Tracer really stepped up this stage so far because he was really not playing Tracer as
I
much
agree.
with Striker in the
Yeah.
lineup, you know, throughout all of this season. But then now this stage finally forced to, yes,
Hello.
power of friendship.
Alexander, no.
Beats all.
He's got to go back
He
to
was,
your cave,
he
back
was
to your hole.
forced to adapt to the Tracer, Golden Boy. And Mistakes has done so really well, actually. I think he stepped up his play a lot. And that could be a big boon for the Boston Uprising going into the season playoffs as well, because Tracer is such an important hero in this game.
I agree.
Really powerful when used correctly. And so Mistakes starting to pop off on that hero is going to be great for the Boston Uprising moving forward to the season playoffs.
Oh, it's a struggle for you to get that point out, wasn't it? We were
Yeah.
interrupting you a lot.
Yeah,
I know.
the fun is
Johnny.
good as well.
To be fair, though, I have no regrets. So, yes, well, there you have it, the Boston Uprising. But now it's time to bring out their opponents. Welcome to the stage, the Florida Mayhem. Oh, wow.
Look at that beard.
Wow, those beards.
Wow.
Wowie, wow, wow, wow.
Wow, we're going to go back to that one, eh? I like the Zappis is starting the first time, and he's got this wonderful Viking beard, they're braided it up. I love it.
Yeah.
Amazing. Remember when Swoosh used to have a majestic beard? Where's that coming back, Swoosh? I know you can hear me.
So what do you think he contributes, Zappis, for this Florida Mayhem squad, Brent? What do you think he can help out this team
You
with?
know, well, at the same time, like, Florida Mayhem, they're playing for pride here, you know?
Yeah.
And Zappis hasn't had as much game time as maybe, I guess, they'd liked, you know?
He has a glass on.
You put him in, you know, you put Zappis back in. They had that big reveal. You remember that when he was in the
Snapchat
trench coat, when he took the spectacles off? You know, those are magical. They really are.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not too sure, Johnny, for what the reasoning is for putting Zappis in here. Again, he plays a lot of these tanks. He could be running some tank-based compositions on King's Row, which is the map that we're going into.
Yeah, that's true.
It's an open book, really, for him.
Yeah, I mean, they played a lot of Reinhardt Zarya overall versus London Spitfire this week, actually. And so maybe they're trying to slow down the game once again. Awesome Guy is probably the better Winston. Maybe that's controversial. I don't think they will refute it.
Get over his beard.
So maybe they're trying to slow it down. Yes, the beards, Bren. What do you like about them?
It's such a good talking
Is it the
point,
length?
though.
Is
Why
it
have they
the
taken
thickness?
so long to get these braids in their facial hair? That's what I want to know. It looks amazing. Johnny doesn't agree. He's staring at me with disappointment, disgust. All right, let's talk about
I want to
Logic's then.
talk about analytical Overwatch
Oh,
gameplay.
Johnny missed me with that, mate. Logic's
Yep.
pretty good, though.
Analysis.
Out the window.
It's
Actually,
Golden
disgust-
Boy, get us back
I know,
on
I
track.
know. I'm
Get us back on
enjoying
track.
it. I'm enjoying it. I should actually have a sore throat more often because this has been amazing this entire time. Okay, well, that is going to do it for us here at the desk for, I'm sure, the happiness of many people at home. But now it's time to send it over to your casters and the best buddy cop film in Hollywood, Semler and Hex.
Thank you, Golden Bear. It's time, Hex.
I will happily take second to best buddy cop film in Hollywood because Lethal Weapon 1 through 4 just got added to Netflix. I know what I'm doing in my time off.
Yeah, you're talking about it already.
I really have. I've been loving Lethal Weapon. It's classics, classic 80s. I'll take number 2.
Great
I like that.
throwback for days.
Yeah.
You know, it's fun because we were going down that path. Die Hard, watched that the other day too. So
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah.
woo!
Oddly enough, they're both Christmas movies. The original Lethal Weapon and Die Hard both take place on Christmas. So
Yeah,
that
America,
sit around
got
with your
problems.
family, gather the children, and, you know.
Watched all-out violence,
Yeah, of
terrorist
course.
attacks, violence. Oh yeah, it's great. Really brings everybody together in the holidays.
Yeah, speaking of violence, who do you got, Golden Boy or the Bear?
Oh, dude, come on.
You saw the sun's out, guns out yesterday.
No, I mean he's got some width to him, but a bear is a feisty beast. I don't know if he can take it. I think I'm gonna side with the bear. Look at he's like he can barely sit at the desk, barely speak.
I've seen Golden Boy be fiery. I think he can bring that heat, bring the thunder. Well, we are in our last set of the regular season. Some stuff still to play for, though, seeding-wise for the Boston Uprising. If they win, they hold on to the 3 seed. If they lose, they go to the 4 seed. So that depends on who they play against in the playoffs.
Yep.
Oof, glad it's the last set of the season. They either get Philly or London. So if they stay in the 3rd seed, they get Philly. If they drop to the 4th seed, they get London. That is what they're playing for today. Boston Uprising on paper should be the team that would be favored in this matchup against the Florida Mayhem. And I think despite the rough start they had to stage 4, they've evolved and they've adjusted to this meta. Mistakes is starting to play at a higher level on the Ultra Flex DPS, and Striker's Widow's gotten better every time we've seen it.
Yeah, indeed. Can't disagree with that, Striker. I mean, Striker has always kind of been the rock of this team, along with Gamsu. But Mistakes has definitely stepped up, shown that he is a capable player. Curious to see what Zappos and Swoosh, you know, if they're going to have the level here necessary, or if Florida Mayhem kind of pulling an IDD2D.
Well, Zappos played a little bit recently. It's good to see him get in the mix. The Viking Beard power may just pull them through here. So.
Yeah, I'm down with that. Yeah, that's a walkout. They should have been doing that halfway through the season. Just commit. You're out for blood. Nobody can kill you.
So a bit of a wrinkle here in the offense from the Boston Uprising, not running dive tanks to try to pressure out up top. They're actually running their own Orisa and then looking for a pick here with Note. Also helps to crack the shield. The first of all will be Neko. He's brought back to life.
Already halt hook combo attempted there. No targets found. Unfortunately for Gamsu with the halt. First tick. There it is. Just a second too slow there. Florida Mayhem a split second off, and they've allowed a bit of permanent progress to be picked up here by Boston pretty much for free. Mistakes not quite going to get that scatter. Looking for the juicy targets at the back line. And he realizes where that Widow's coming from as well. Time to go a-hunting.
Well, he's going to wait for the scatter to be on cooldown, I think, unless he wants to fire it at these tanks here on the point. Now, scatter does go in, takes down Zappos. Logix will be the follow. Mistakes making none of them right now. Gets himself a nice triple kill.
Oh man, that's beastly. There you go, Mistakes.
Yeah.
Turns out he can, you know, even if it is a scatter, it doesn't matter. He'll still hit the headshot. Fine.
Have you met my friend, Mr. Danilov? Stan Dan the Man. One of the best names in all of the Overwatch League. And I like to call Mr. Danilov because it gets a smile on his face. And if you can make a Russian smile, you're doing something right.
You are definitely. They are tough to please. Not Mr. Danilov. Danilov's a great guy.
No, Mr. Danilov's great. All right, first point taken rather easily as the bell begins to toll. Some changes will come in from the side of the Boston Uprising, most notably the tank line is going to be Gamsu on Winston and Note on Diva. The dive tanks as we call them.
Oh, you can hear it. Rip Tire on the way. Striker hears it coming, trying to put some distance. Oh, missed the window, but he still finds the target. Gamsu blown up. Gamsu instantly reconstituted from the parts that have been splattered all across the screen. He is whole and hale yet again.
It's a little less disturbing when you think about rebuilding a Bastion or, you know, even a Zenyatta.
Yeah, Zenyatta.
Trying to piece together the corpse of a
Although I don't know.
side seems a little difficult.
If you are, you know, scared of oil or whatever. Oh God, there's oil everywhere. Oh no, what has he done to my pants? Just the stains. Do you know how hard oil is to get out, Zenyatta?
It's a,
Peace be with you.
Or mineral water. Like that. Or just gasoline, light them on fire, start it over again. All right, so now held back at the choke point. Mistakes is going to have the Dragon whenever he feels like he needs to make room for his team. Of course, no control ultimates, or crowd control ultimates rather, most specifically the Graviton Surge is gonna knock it through the hallway that everyone's retreating into, force out the Transcend.
Yep, there's the trance. That was just in the nick of time to keep Swoosh alive. He was hanging on by a thread there. Zupe finds the kill on Gamsu, kind of overcommitted, and there's the Shatter. Catches Mistakes. Still the trance there to cancel out the damage, and we will get the res off on Gamsu. So Boston Uprising still in fighting force, and definitely now, Zemo and Zupe, the double Z's put to sleep.
The Death Note does come through over top, gets a little mini missile at the end to take down his counterpart too. Just these last fights have been won for Boston Uprising off the backs of huge, enormous individual plays there. It's again, Mistakes opening it up with the triple kill on the Hanzo. Note cracks open the second point. They're rolling through here. Striker's looking for the off angle. Gamsu's actually outside scouting for him, making sure that no one's up there. He's gonna take the left side here because it is time for Florida to get back on the point.
And now they need to charge it. Zap it. Well, we have to change as well. Swoosh on the Winston. Zappos on that Diva. There's the DMAC on Note. Fortunately, oh, and Logix just snuffs him immediately. So Gonna have to wait on the respawn there.
He was waiting for it. He was just looking at the DMAC. It's a shot that almost every Widowmaker in the Overwatch League is going to hit. The trajectory is static. You know exactly where that pilot's going to be.
Well, Striker eventually did find the kill on Logix. He's definitely going for the aggressive grapple. A little bit of a juggle attempt there by Gamsu. He gets whittled down by Zupe. Striker now with the long line straight into the back. Doesn't hit the key shot there on the Zenyatta. That's unfortunate.
They've got him in a really nice crossfire here because no one's really pressuring Striker. And on the other side, Mistakes has just been sitting on high ground, popping in arrows whenever he gets a chance. Still, though, a nice fight early on before taking Note out again.
Yeah, they got rid of Tavik, though. That was Kelly's going for the Battle Mercy. I like that Zebo and Zupe as well were the ones heading over there to try and get rid of Striker. Just taking the fight to him. Turns out that Zebasai can fly over the dragon. That's helpful. Kellick's dead, and this is finally going to be Florida Mayhem winning a fight here versus Boston.
Florida looking good so far. Boston on their next push just used a bunch of ultimates. They're going to have a Transcendence of Neko, but that is about it. Florida with a great stall ultimate in the Primal Rage from Swoosh. They will stagger out Striker. So at 1:35, just about on the clock, that is at best 2 pushes. You see the walk back all the way through the streets here. Takes a while to get back to second point. This is where most teams on defense want to fight because you know you win a fight, you just bought yourself about a minute.
The Genvik is out as well. Let's see. Goes for the dash, not quite there. Mistakes is ready to bash him in the face though, so he's got to be careful when he tries to take these fights. Swoosh has gone primal right now. Looking for the juggle, kind of caught in the corner, dropping low. They can't quite finish the job. He's still hanging in here. Jump pad comes off. Cooldown just in the nick of time to keep him alive.
Avian's backing up now, and now there could be progress made on the cart. It rolled back a little bit, so it's not just the few meters that they needed initially. Note with another kill onto Zappas. He is just going after his opposite number.
Yeah, these supports are having a real rough time for Florida. Logic's now feeling the heat. Zupe and Logic's getting chained down. Chain damage all there. Chain lightning from Gamsu. Hey. Turns out he was a shaman after all. He's a modern shaman.
I even understood that reference.
Yeah, of course. You're always raging when you got to play against Shadowwalk.
Yeah, don't get me started about the decks. I just like every deck in Hearthstone because I play against them all so often.
Yeah, you just love them so much.
We were gonna
cries of sheer joy.
We were gonna set up a Hearthstone tournament between you and I. Then you're like, I'll just play aggro mage, and I was like, GG, I quit.
Yeah, I'm done.
I'm done. I don't need that mental language.
Luckily for you, my decks are in Europe. All right, let's go. Striker, looking for it. He found it. Swoosh is dead. Florida steadily giving ground here, but they've done a good job of burning time off the clock. Minute 20 left here for Boston Uprising to collect the 3rd point. On King's Row, body shot there, not quite going to do the trick. Zupe gets topped up again by Zebasai, but with Zappas and Tavik dead, that's going to give a good opportunity here for Boston to get some real progress on the payload.
And they've been changing up comps back and forth. You see Mistakes has been back on the Hanzo. Tavik had switched to the Junkrat, now back onto the Genji. Florida Mayhem now in a pure dive to get out of here. Try to orchestrate some kills here with a minute remaining.
Oh, buddy, Striker took Logix out point blank. Logix was going in. The one clip not going to happen. Swoosh, Primal, dead. Mistakes, Dragon in. Are they gonna find the kills? No, Zupe's got the trance, so it's gonna be negated. We do have the self-destruct. That's enough burst to get through the trance, but finds no targets. Logic's dead again, though. And so far, Boston Uprising weathering the storm.
Mistakes has been crushing on this Hanzo. He had a brief reprieve onto the Brigida, decided, I'm feeling the Bowman right now, and he gets, this is another, like 2 to 3 kills in a row for him.
Yeah, he's pulling ahead right now. He is definitely popping off. Zebasai and Swoosh out of it for Florida. And yeah, these are just all the kills. The Desperation Blade gets broken in half across Boston's knee. Tavik is dead. And that will be 3 points picked up for Boston.
That is not how the animated short goes at all.
Yeah, he's supposed to be cutting the arrows in half and stuff.
Yeah, I guess Scatter is just that strong of ability. It will be gone soon enough, but let's see just how Mistakes was able to pull off one of his several multi-kill performances. This one's close to the end.
He's got that grin going. He knows it.
A happy Mr. Danilov right there on the Logix.
Come on! He hit better shots than that throughout this map. I mean, he is sitting at 11 final blows, Mistakes. He is in the lead right now on the map. So the man is definitely here to do work, continuing to show us the level that we saw earlier. past couple of weeks.
Much like earlier in the Philadelphia game, I think it's also a good sign for Boston that Kellex died only once there. Again, these were some of the Mercies that had very good survivability throughout several stages. Early survivability in stage 4 was an issue where they started thinking they were invincible, and hey, that's a natural human hubris. But now if you can stay alive, that's your main job as a Mercy. Blasters get you highlights. Hey, we're guilty of it too. They get you player of the day sometimes as well, but staying alive is your primary concern there.
And that's with Neko just not even healing. Neko trying to do all the damage right now, and he's got nearly 4,000 heals. You go over to the other side, Zupe, 5,000 damage, 9,000 heals. It's like Zupe's a little bit more on the healing game.
Yeah.
Trying to get the teammates up.
That's actually what Boston's, both of their Zenyatas do. They're both very good at outputting damage. Aim God has had some playtime for Boston, very good at outputting damage, but you're at the bottom of the league when it comes to like assists and heals and things like that. So Jonak has ruined Zenyatas.
He has. Everybody wants to be Jonak. There can only be one. It's like Highlander. Jonak at the end of the season is just going to show up and start chopping people's heads off.
The greatest Scottish film of all time.
Oh, man, for sure. Classic. Go watch it. All right, let's get into this now. Swoosh now. Bit of a similar strategy, bit of a similar approach here for Florida Mayhem. They will have the Orisa turned away to avoid the headshots. I like it. First barrier goes down. Next one should probably try to go down on the corner of the point. Savage gets yanked in. Not dead, though. No follow-up.
So running very similar strategies, Florida and Boston on their offense. The Roadhog Orisa combination. Crack those shields. Not going to dive up, just going to take the slow roll here, fire in as much damage as possible. And everyone's very clumped up. Even on the defense, it's a little surprising that teams aren't stealing the idea of putting your Zenyatta alone up top. It's worked so well for many teams.
Oh, there we go. No hesitation on the part of Boston. As soon as they realized that Florida was starting to get close to the point, boom, they're rotating, boom, they're contesting, and no first tick picked up here for Florida. Now that's going to just buy time for Striker to get the drop on Tvik.
Well, Tvik knew Striker was over there. He launched an arrow through a tree, just hoping that it was going to get him, and I guess he thought that arrow was going to be enough to scare him. Nothing scares Striker. He takes down a few. That is a defense that is fully stabilized. Zapis looking for an entry pick here. It's a nice hook. Tvik stealing his kill.
Wow, Tvik. Can't let Zapis have the moment, huh?
This must be playing free for all. 90% of the damage,
yeah.
0% of the points.
Let's say, I mean, Zapis right now, he's kind of pulling him around. He's causing Boston Uprising to have to worry about him over in this angle.
Oh, he's in a great spot.
Yeah, this is interesting. Drops down, takes the fight, nearly clips Striker. Instead, Note's going to run him over. And so Florida Mayhem now on this point. It is getting contested by Note, now Gamsu. So Boston Uprising, for now, it feels like they're in a very comfortable situation. Nobody getting overwhelmed, all the damage. Ult's coming online here. Neko about to have Trance.
A bit of a curious Valkyrie, but when you have Trance about to be, or Transcendence rather, about to be lined up, it's no problem.
And you're mirroring Zebo as well. So I mean, both Mercy Valks are out of it now.
Yeah, and you'll see that a lot as soon as one Transcendence or Valkyrie gets popped. They'll wait a second or two to give them a small lasting advantage and then pop it just to mirror it.
Let's say Tvik got the dragon. Looking for the opening right through the back of the... Oh, I like this. This is sick. Good work. The Trance. Too quick. But still, the kills come through. Striker. D-Mac on Note and Striker laid low. Still a chance here for Florida.
That was a really cool combination. He used the Infrasight to line it all up with that Dragon as well. Sometimes it's the other way around where Sonic Arrow leads to headshots for the Widowmaker. The Sniper tag team duo work so well together. Their abilities work really well. Still, Boston has a decent fighting force alive at this point. In fact, everyone's still alive. Can't say the same for Swoosh at the moment.
Ooh, Tvik. He's gonna get... No, he misses the scatter. Should hit the follow-up. Should hit the follow-up. And there it is.
You want to turn around mistakes? Right there. He is avenged by Neko. And meanwhile, Note gets another 2-kill self-destruct. 5 self-destruct kills so far in the map for Note.
Yeah, he's just dive bombing him now, man. This is it. Well, less than a minute on the clock here for Florida. A few ults online. Zebaside's got the wings back. So does Kellex, so they're mirroring each other now. Zapis with the whole hog.
I'd like to see them get enough pressure on the point so that Gamsu has to rotate, drop down on the corner, and then put your own shield up, supercharge your whole hog, and crack it and put as much damage as humanly possible in.
That's the kill right there. Tvik bringing that back. Could allow for the res to happen if necessary. We will have Swoosh's supercharger getting eliminated so quickly. Swoosh caught in the corner under so much pressure. Does not survive. Mistakes, gets the tire off, and there you go. Point blank on it to Tvik. Get out.
Valkyrie is in. This is the last push for the Florida Mayhem. Logix has caught out He's gonna grapple away. Nice grapple shot to punish mistakes in an aggressive angle. That's an unresable spot.
Mistake showing a little lack of respect there. Let's see if the team are gonna survive. Helix is hanging on. Zebasai was trying to get in there for the kill. They will eventually find it, but both tanks still survive here for Boston Uprising. Self-destruct thrown into it, and they just aren't gonna get a body on the point. Boston Uprising will take the first map in the series on Kings Row.
In rather dominant fashion, 52-27 is the final kill count in favor of the Boston Uprising. Florida Mayhem, 0 points on the board, but it's not over yet. We have another map after this. Boston still fighting for their seeding. Stay with us. Take a short little break.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Intel. Intel Core i7 powers the Overwatch League. T-Mobile, America's fastest network ever. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
It looks like the Boston Uprising able to break into the fight now. I am so psyched about this one. Florida in a fantastic place to take this map. And the Uprising are hanging on him. That is big. They need to win this map. Doesn't need to be told twice about it. He goes straight in. Oh, one man. Zaya playing with 3 though. What is going on?
It is do or dive here in the last 10 seconds of the game.
The Boston Uprising have turned this around. Insanity right now. Oh boy.
Welcome back from the break, everybody. And Monte Cristo, man, I'm loving it. Do or dive? Why didn't we think of that, Hex? Jesus.
We're just not as smart as Monty.
No,
And
no,
he'd
we are
be,
definitely
and he'd be
not.
the first to tell you.
Yeah, he would be too. He would be too. Shout out to Monty, my boy. I mean, come on. Now we got to get into a second map. Let's go ahead and get back on track here.
Yeah.
So, Boston Uprising in the lead 1-0. I think this shocks no one. They are the favorite team in this matchup. It would be a big upset if Florida are able to pull it off. I mean, going into Lunar Colony, this is also kind of their home turf, isn't it?
Yeah, Boston's undefeated on Lunar Colony. They've only won it twice, but they've drawn out twice, so it's been one of their better maps in Stage 4. And I think everyone who's started doubting Boston in Stage 4 just, you know, they're not going to make stage playoffs, obviously, but they're bigger fish to fry. Don't forget, this team is either going to be the 3 or 4 seed in the season playoffs, right? So now they're just adjusting to the meta, and the meta really took them time to get used to it. You take the best Tracer player in the league, or arguably, no doubt, top 3 Tracer player in the league in Striker, and you say you can't play that anymore. Just can't play Tracer anymore. Stop. You got to play Widow, because we need a Widow, and Mistakes was a little inconsistent on that hero. What they found in Mistakes is this ultra flexible player who can play the Tracer when they need to, so Tracer, Widow. Like I said, Widow's in like every match. There's rarely compositions that you see teams not run a Widow in some variation of Genji, Junkrat, Tracer, you've got Hanzo. The good thing is, for Boston, Mistakes plays all of those heroes, and he's played them all really well. He's gotten better throughout the stage.
It's the willingness to adapt. It's like, right, okay, this is what we need to do. This is what I need to do. Even if it's going to suck at first, and maybe I'm going to not have the performance necessary, he sticks with it, and boom. Now we're starting to see a level from Mistakes where he is competing and he is dominating. I mean, he had an excellent first map in this series, so let's see if he can keep up that shape, that form. Florida Mayhem on the defense as the home team, Boston Uprising on the offense as the away team, and Mistakes on the Tracer to start. Nico is going to be running Sombra as well, so.
This is a triple DPS. Some teams have been running this a lot recently. The Halt almost pulls back the Widow, got into that corner, but you want to just get your Sombra on the back point, put on some pressure, make someone come down and rotate with you, and then maybe you can get a setup where people are going in rotation and you pick them off on the way in.
This is the spicy one, though, is because now Nako's going to get support from Mistakes back here, so challenging Zappis. Rest of the team are going to take advantage of this, the lack of Diva on that high ground. Gamsu taking a lot of damage, though. He's got to be careful. Doesn't want to get overwhelmed here. And it's looking like, yes, Striker will be able to sneak his way past. But between Mistakes and Neko, those two can do a lot of damage, especially if Zappis gets hacked.
Well, they also just got a tick already on the point, so already some progress being made. Striker's able to take down Swoosh, should be in a resable spot there. We'll be able to res that one back up. That's a resource they won't have going forward. They just lose Zupe to Neko in the background.
What is this, like WWE tag team wrestling? They just clotheslined him between the two of them.
It's one of the great reasons why you run a Tracer and a Sombra at the same time. You think you only have a Tracer there, or only the Sombra, and then, you know, like a Velociraptor, clever girl right up the side.
Yes. Exactly. Dude, that is exactly what we just witnessed. That Zenyatta just got pulled apart at the seams. Beautiful. Well, all the kills coming through now for Boston Uprising. Florida Mayhem, they're just getting overwhelmed. I mean, that's it. It's from step one, when you have that Sombra and that Tracer, you can see Zappis, he's doing his job. If it was just one of them, he's like, right, I'm here to contest. You're not going to get any progress. But then when both of them start ganging up on him, that throws everything out of whack for Florida.
You used to see teams just run one of them, and then they've adapted on the style. You take one of your flex supports and you put them on either the Sombra or the Tracer in the case of the Gladiators, or whatever they feel comfortable with. And now you have this snowball potential of the EMP about ready to come in.
Let's
not going to use it till he's, well, I thought he was going to hold it for the Zen.
I think he caught 2 of them, though. Yeah, he did catch 2 of them. But not quite going to be able to have the follow-up.
Transcendence forced out and fades, and Striker will punish Zupe immediately. Resed up, though.
Yeah, Zappis gets hacked, gets demeched immediately. So we will have that. Swoosh gets overwhelmed, just trying to throw some trying to throw some pressure on the backline. That's just not mattering. Boston Uprising, 1 tick and counting, finally getting contested here, but they're on the edge of picking up a second. To Victor, the best he can to hang in, right in the middle.
Getting healed, almost got the pick there. They are going to back off just a little bit as they lost Note, so no tank pressure from the point. We'll see if they go all the way back here and switch Neko off onto maybe a Zenyatta. That's 63%. It's a strange percentage to be at. I don't see him on the top down just yet. Yeah, so yeah, you will go back and switch a Zen.
Yeah, change it up. Resable position there for Striker, so we will get him back in the fight.
Probably shouldn't have been peeking there, but you know, it's Striker. You got to play aggro in these situations. Mistakes, admiring the view through the glass, giving his team all the scouting information that they need. A rotation through left side is often possible for a Tracer, because that's usually where the Widow's hanging out, back left.
No, bit of a tickle war going on here. Yeah, you got it. I mean, he's not playing Genji. He's got to let it know somehow. All right.
Tivik is on the Brigitte. They're going to remech here. Mistakes. Now the Tracer Eraser comes in and deals with him.
just instant dead, too.
Oh, yeah?
Like, you have no time to react. You're just done.
I know. You've seen my playtime on Heroes.
I have
how
heard
it's
you
changed
rage.
this season.
I have heard you rage, yes. The howls of fury echoing through the hallways here at the Blizzard studio. Oh, man.
All right, well, everyone escorted back. We'll see what Mistakes goes on to now. He's got Pulse Bomb up, but it can be difficult to run a Tracer into this. He will opt for a Brigitte of his own. Composition switches coming in. 4 minutes remain. You get a chunk of time for completing first on this map. So Lunar Colony, you got a lot of cracks at the second point. Swoosh just holding the high ground, riding the rafters, hanging out up top.
Iron is taking his time. They are going to group up. They are going to move together. Neko floating his way in as fast as possible to rejoin the group. Will make his way across the opening, and yes, push has begun. Gamsu with the primal, taking point. Mistakes trying to follow up behind him, trying to generate that AoE healing.
Great kills. I think they should be able to get the Zenyatta at some point after this one as well. Tavik falls Zabo down again. Swoosh has to pop primal, try to hold on to this point.
Yeah, there is the, exactly. Get into that tranquility, get the healing aura. Mistakes finds Logics, but they lose Kelix in the process. A chance here perhaps for Florida if they can stall this out appropriately without the Mercy there to crank the heals. It might be enough. Nearly 2 ticks picked up. And Mistakes just going for the aggro rally, sure. Neko, great jump. Like, that is exactly what he has to be doing. Jump in that rally, get that armor as the Zen.
Gamsu's keeping everyone off the point in the back. As long as the point is cleaned up by the rest of them, they will finish out Horizon Lunar Colony. Boston with very good time, just shy of 3 minutes in that time bank.
That's respectable time. Respectable time. Good, solid.
They just looked at the strategies. The strategies were perfect on first point. It's exactly how you want to run that offense. The execution was there. You build up some ultimates toward the end, get a couple key opening picks, and then never let them come back on point. It was some really nice primal rages too by Gamsu. He was just going through the tunnel of the spawn and just, you're back into the playing field, sit in the corner. And then goes down the other way. You sit in the corner, and you.
Zebo was even on Ana, couldn't get the sleep.
Yeah, one of the reasons you switch to Ana in those desperation last holes, we see everyone do it. One, the Bionade is a great ability to make sure that no healing comes through. If the other team's trying to victory transcend on the point, Bionade, nope, you don't get any healing from that. And then the Sleep Dart can result in an instant kill. So on those defensive, desperate holes, that's why you see a lot of Doomfist, you see a lot of Ana. You're looking for that one swing kill that you really need.
I love these braids.
They're great.
Yeah, this is awesome. They need to keep this look going. It's a shame it's only on the last match of Stage 4. Ah, well. Florida, what do you got in store for us? It's looking like a variant of the Big Beef so far. Boston Uprising, as far as they're concerned, it's a catch-all approach.
Boston Uprising is running the Lunar Colony defense. See what Note wants to switch to here, though. Usually you run a Diva with this. All right, a little variation.
Just all the heals.
We usually run a Diva with this to be the one to go back on the point.
Yeah.
Right? But when teams are running the Sombra Tracer, then the Diva, she gets hacked like that. Like I said, 2,000 pounds worth of worthless steel. Or aluminum, vibranium, I don't know, it's the future.
Exactly.
Adamantium.
That would be expensive. You won't have to worry. If it's going to be this way, it's looking like it will be the triple support. All right, triple support. Gamsu should be getting plenty of support of heals here. Florida Mayhem, in the meantime, yeah, they stuck to the Big Beef with the Sombra variant on Fick. Now it's a question of, how quick they can...
See, this is
yeah,
great.
There we go.
Yeah, this is... You hide in this corner here. Junkrats used to put traps over here, but a lot of Tracers and Sombras became very savvy of this. So you put Note over there waiting for the flank coming in, but they've spotted out now that there's not going to be a Tracer or a Sombra. They're running 1,400 worth of HP.
Yeah, just big targets. All right. Oh, that would have been the shot right there from Striker. The halt, big group to shoot into as well. In position to snuff Tvik, though. And well, good luck with that one, Tvik. You got a long run back. There's no mercy to bring you back to life this time around. Mistakes trying to change up the angle right now. Will be able to just crank out crazy damage with these grenades as well. Right into the pack. Instant tire. Instant death. Double kill. Smoosh and Zupe out of it. Yeah, man, Mistakes. He is such a monster right now.
As a bend but don't break approach, they did give up one single tick, almost the second one. Not going to be the case though. Boston will hold here stout on first. That is 1 out of 4 attempts that you get on Lunar Colony first. It's pretty much the math has worked out 100% of the time. You get about 4 pushes. Unless they just drag on really long, but it doesn't seem like Lunar Colony lends itself to really long, drawn-out fights.
No, it's well, big beef sometimes,
It's,
but yeah.
but it's rarer than other maps.
All right, let's see. Once again, mistakes. Real quick to change up the positioning. Now his trap's been destroyed. He's doing some damage. He knows where they're coming from. He's gonna get set up. He's gonna be ready and ready. Welcome them in. As already you have the Coalescence getting put in here, so it's really gonna be Zupe trying to pave the way. Note quickly overwhelmed here, and Boston Uprising, yep, just getting run over.
2 supports fell, most notably Calyx falling means no resurrection available, and Florida Mayhem will take the first point of Lunar Colony on their second attempt. You see all the time added, 6 minutes in their bank, so they have 3 minutes to get a better time than the Boston Uprising. A nice immediate shatter on the Gamsu.
Oh, with the trance and the pin and everything thrown in. Swoosh, he came so close.
That's just great support play, though. Neko's over top. He's trying to body block that as well. We've seen Zen just get so much value out of their Transcendences now. We saw the Jonak play yesterday. We've seen some Transcendence play earlier today, too. He was trying to take that charge for his buddy. Doesn't matter, keeps him alive. Boston did have to burn some support ultimates, though. The other side of things, the support ultimates charge a little bit faster. Zabosai's about to have Soundbearer, great initiator, and Zupe should be able to get there. Also, grab and self-destruct, so Florida should win this fight.
Yeah, they should have all the tools necessary here. Trying to get some charge up on Mr. Logix. So what? Never mind, deleted by mistakes from on high.
That's brutal.
That is brutal. Just as the sound barrier goes out as well. Neko on the high ground has to back off, though. It's going to be Tvik, and this is just going to be the reset coming in here from Florida. They lost too much too quick. At least Logix didn't throw the... It wasn't as like he was throwing the grav out or anything. Still have the grav to work with going into this next fight, as well as the Coalescence and the self-destruct. So that could be a pretty meaty combo right there.
Just no sound barrier, which would really help them getting in there. It's not going to be alive for them now. And the big question is, how do you really deal with mistakes up here? Because you don't really... Well, I guess Zappis has to be the one to try to drive by on him. Grab comes in early.
Oh, on high as well.
That's how you deal with it.
Yes, there we go. Okay, then, Zappis, that was a lob. And another shatter coming through here from Swoosh. This is looking pretty good. A couple of kills here. Gamsu and Striker are out of it. Note's soon going to get overwhelmed as well. D-Mexed, and they will very quickly take the second point. Florida Mayhem. Excellent work. 4 minutes, 17 seconds.
A creative solution to a problem in the sky. You just grab the beam below him, lock him in, self-destruct. There's no shield up there, obviously, so they're able to knock that one down. It's worth a wry smile, is it not?
That was great. I like how we just get the answer to our question immediately as well. Because you could have had the scoop, perhaps.
Yeah.
You get the D.Va flying up there,
Scoop him
knocking him off, knocking him off the high ground onto the low. But or you just, throw 2 ultimates to solve the one problem that is mistakes. It's like, we really need to kill this guy.
Yeah, I think Calyx was up there too, and that's always worth a grab. Make sure the Mercy gets out of the fights, and then grab another one in there. It's kind of the baseline. If you get 2 into Mercy in it, you're pretty happy with that at the competitive level.
So, another ride on the Lunar Colony Express here. Boston Uprising going to be swapping sides. They had less time on the clock. So, just shy of 3 minutes here for Boston Uprising. It's looking like a similar approach to the first time around. Florida Mayhem, similar defense. So rinse and repeat, Hex. Rinse and repeat. Wax on, wax on.
That old man just tricked that kid into doing chores.
Exactly.
That's all
That
he was
is
doing.
brilliant. That's wisdom.
Then at the end, he's like, "Oh no, I was teaching you karate this whole time." And he's sitting there with his shiny floor and his fresh painted fence, just smug look on his face.
Wisdom. That's called wisdom, Hex.
That is, I suppose. Miyagi does have the wisdom. Also tricked him into thinking rubbing his hands together cured him. There's just a whole lot of sorcery going on there.
Oh, well.
Standard on both sides here. This is exactly what we saw on the other side. Neko puts a little bit of pressure on the point. We'll just recall out. Zob's going to have to stay in the low ground. He knows Neko's going to come back around. A nice halt, but it's on both tanks, so the D-Matrix comes out, blocks the shot.
Gamsu thrown out of position as well. Quick minds there. Good work by Tvik, who's already nearly got the tire going. Yep, 1 tick, tick and a half, 2 ticks almost. Somebody contest this? No. What? 2 ticks and a half, nearly picking up the point. Florida looked like they just wanted to win the fight outright before they started to get back over here, but that is a whole lot of free progress.
They got Calyx during that fight, so it was over, but not for nothing. They were able to pull off 2. Makes it a lot easier to just grab this 1/3 of a point, and they're going to have an EMP to do so.
Yep, thank you, Sombra. Now we know. Neko just getting in position here. Looks like it's going to be just plummeting in death from above.
We'll see if he translocates an EMPs. That makes the EMP come off faster rather than coming out of cloak to EMP. Sometimes you won't get the EMP off an ideal position. That is a money EMP.
And I love it. All the AoE damage there. Nope, just boosting through. Mistakes following it up with a pulse bomb kill. Nobody can hear you scream when you're silenced. That's it. You're
Picture
done.
perfect. And Boston's never had an issue with execution once they really have a game plan going. You saw it early on that Boston started perfecting the dive, and it was the Gamsu and Striker show. Now that can't be the case. The meta does shift. You have to be able to adjust. It took them part of a stage to do so. But that's just picture perfect execution. You couldn't draw it up any better.
How would it come through for Zenyatta, trying to scream if he was silenced? Like 0-1-1-0-0-1. I don't know where I'm going with that. Just like he forgets how to talk.
Well, I'm pretty sure the ammo counter on Sombra's gum is written in hexadecimal.
Okay.
It's actually a really cool little detail. I'm pretty sure that's what it is, because I'm like, these numbers aren't right. There's a D in there.
Doesn't make any sense.
Tyre comes in, takes down Gamsu. Again, some pressure being put on the point. Gamsu back in the mix. Meanwhile, Logic's out of it. See if that res comes through.
Well, already we got the trance on the point here from Zupe, trying to keep his tanks alive. That will be key. It's buying time for Zebasai to get the res off on Logix. Self-destruct is out. Mistakes playing it safe, not trusting that shield. Will back off in time. And well, now he's got his eyes on the prize. Yep. Straight in, goes for the pulse, and he finds a kill. Zupe!
Zupe backed into that one, hovered right over it, out
man.
for trouble.
Now you gotta deal with the bouncer.
Doomfist is trying to come out, does get onto the point. No, he does not. He gets struck by Striker, who will also take down Zebosai. This one looks like it's going Boston's way, barring a miracle.
30 seconds on the clock here. They need to make it quick. They are getting a good stagger out, though. Florida Mayhem trying to just stall it, nearly getting the job done, and it's looking like Boston will succeed. 23 seconds on the clock. 4 points picked up here for Boston.
With time left. Are we going to have a 6-5 Horizon Lunar Colony
Let's go,
here?
Hex. Let's go.
This is Striker trying to close out the point. I think this is probably the first opening kill onto the Doomfist. Doomfist can be a very easy target for Widowmaker because he's very predictable trajectories. Some help right there onto Swoosh.
Yeah, that's a toughie for Swoosh. Gave him the butt.
Yeah, straight up in the air. You know where he's landing. Striker bounces him out. His gun's better than Zebo's. Proves it right there.
Jeez. I mean, that's some quick aim there. Slow-mo. You're seeing just how he's tracking. That's a Shikad. It's no surprise. If you've been watching the league, Striker, one of the monsters in it. Definitely one of the top performers.
Yeah, early in the stage, was not quite understanding. Then about halfway through, he started playing the Overwatch League style of Widowmaker. Crazy angles, super aggressive flanks. And we all know his aim's good. It's just, it is kind of a bit of a transition for Tracer players to go to Widow. It's not the exact same style of aim. And some of them will try to completely adjust and just change it to Flick, but there is a tracking style of Widow you can do to track most of it, Flick at the last second, or just track where they're going to be, an anticipation style. So even within the one hero, there's several different aiming types. So Striker just had to figure out what works for him.
Well, the attack has begun, and Florida, as you guys can see, have plenty of time in the bank. 4 minutes here to work with, and well, with how quick they took the first point last time, Boston have chosen to go for the similar strategy. So, Florida changing up the angle, going left this time around, straight out onto the point. Striker looking for targets. He's hunting exactly for Tavik, and again hits the headshot on Tavik.
No one's there to help him. Can't res him. No mercy on the field. Couldn't res him anyway. They're all on the point. And now no one's going to be able to contest the uncontestable Striker up top. Zappas could have flown to him, I guess, but that wouldn't have been a great idea. Now it's simply a shooting gallery.
Yeah, Swoosh is, he does die eventually, obviously. And I think, yep, Striker out of the corner of his eye.
Yeah, he knows the timing. He knows the respawn timing that he's going to be in there. Striker's in a little bit of trouble, though.
Oh, wow.
Will die. Kelix just used the rest. Striker out of this mix for a bit. No going to be in a little trouble, too. Logic's coming in, getting some kills.
Listen, Logix is the one who's doing the damage right now. He's like, oh, okay, our DPS is dead. Guess I'll take care of that. 98 energy, dude. That's when Zarya's just start chunking.
Yeah.
He'll melt your face.
It is Zarya's big role in this composition, too, to be able to take the damage. You see Zarya's run against these Junkrat compositions, knowing exactly they're going to have this beam of death. Tyre's got to come up big here.
Not going to find joy there for the stakes. First tick picked up here for Florida Mayhem. There's the grab. AoE, just brutal. Logic's just baiting them up.
This should be cleaned up eventually anyway. I understand what Mistakes was going for there. He wanted Zupe, who's in the middle of Coalescence, so he's not going to be able to fade away from that Tyre. You get it in on a Coalescence Moira, she's just dead. So the strategy was sound, the execution didn't follow through. Tires are just...
I think he just got like 5 final blows there within a minute. Logic's that is.
Yeah.
I think he just ran train on these guys.
Laid low right now. Does regen, get healed up, get some shields back as well.
Let's see. Tvik back in.
It's a very aggressive defense. They're trying to punish this. They jump right in on Tvik. Zupe is going to be the one who falls. They got to go all the way back.
I like it. Get out there. Don't let them get comfortable. Don't let them dictate the pace, Hex. Don't let them get comfortable and set up. Boston Uprising, they've got some ults of their own. Mistakes could throw a tire in here to slow things up again. And Mako's got that trance online.
Tire would be good. Self-destruct would be money for them as well. Notes hit some great ones thus far. They're going to open with tires. Everyone's grouped up.
Beautiful.
Tire.
Beautiful. That's exactly what he was looking for. Swoosh and Logic's dead. Further delaying things. Can they get some staggers? Again, Boston just trying to jump on this. Yep.
Well,
Tvik gonna get tased.
It is one of the reasons Junkrat's so good against this competition. One, giant bodies that you're just going to be able to hammer with damage, which means they're going to get tires more often. But the best answer to tires has been Widowmakers, and when people are clumped up like that, Widow can't even see the tire. You can guess and try to shoot through the bodies and hope it's there. If you have infrasight, that helps out a lot as well. But those tires, you have to snipe them in this comp. Maybe if you're super high energy or if you fire strike them, but those aren't super reliable ways to kill tires.
Well, Lighthouse is shining forth. It's showing the way. Zupe doing the AoE damage and healing. There's another shatter. Once again connecting.
Neko, go back.
Helix is dead.
Kelix will fall, but the rest of the deaths are colored in yellow of the Florida Mayhem. Back to the drawing board. 90 seconds remain. Sebaside died first in that last engagement, but silver lining. We'll say that he has Sound Barrier left to initiate, and then you've got Logics and Self-Destruct. All the tools in your kit for a full team wipe.
Yeah, Swoosh has switched over to the Winston as well here. So no longer the Shatters, no longer the Glorious. Din of battle, bullets pinging off of armor. It's gonna be the tasing, the lightning gun.
You have to make someone pressure out strikers too, and Tvik hasn't really found the angle on him here. And this is why, because this perch right here is impossible to deal with except for a Widow of your own.
Let's see, high ground, been spotted. Nope, gonna go on the hunt there. Not gonna let Tvik get comfortable. Sound Barrier thrown in, so everybody's got quite a bit more HP to work with. Mistakes. This is gonna be the tire. Doesn't find the squish. Oh, well, that was a Moira, so Zupe can just dodge that pretty easily.
I thought I heard Fate being used already, so I thought he was going after the Moira, but maybe he didn't hear that in his vantage point anyway, so it's hard to know to try to detonate on a Moira. We have a little more information. I could be incorrect anyway. Regardless of that, this Graviton has to find Pater. Last push for the Florida Mayhem.
Looking for it, looking for it,
I think the grab might have gotten eaten. I heard it's... Unless I'm just auditorially hallucinating today. I heard the grab come out. I didn't see anyone caught in it.
Nope, didn't see it, didn't hear the sound effect afterwards. And already kills here for Boston Uprising. Gamsu just having a ball. Logix and Tvik dead, Zupe gone, and Zap is now the last man alive here for Florida Mayhem, and that's not gonna be for long. Overtime burning down. You have a Zebasai who's sprinting his way back into the fight. He will get blocked. And Boston Uprising will collect a second victory here in this series. 2-0 lead now for them.
Rather handily yet again. Same second burst, same as the first. 66-38. The kills in favor of the Boston Uprising. They're executing their game plan perfectly, sharpening those skills, looking for the third seed. We'll see if they can pull that off. We're going to take a break and go to the desk after that.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places.
Yeah, unlock the trunk. Hey, how's it going, man? I've got a few more things to grab, and I'll be right back. Whew. Got some camping stuff. Catch.
Camping stuff?
The huge. A little bit more. Hold on.
I said we were going to lunch.
Oh, Daredevil helmet, traffic cone. Yeah, you know me, man.
Huh?
I like to keep it safe, but also a little bit dangerous.
You gotta be kidding me.
Tripod for tripoding and luggage. That has, well, you don't need to know what's in there. Don't worry about it.
My God, how much stuff do you have?
Skis.
Why the skis, Doa? You don't even ski.
Yeah, I know I don't ski. Sometimes I just like to put them on and think, you know? Oh, couch cushions. I lost the couch, but I saved the cushions, so that's great. I think that's it.
Get in the car.
Oh, what's wrong, man? You feeling okay?
I'm feeling like you tricked me into helping you move.
That is precisely what happened. Well, it's your fault for having so much cargo space.
It's my fault for being your friend.
True.
Color outside the lines in the Toyota CHR. Toyota, let's go places.
You just gotta keep moving forward.
Boston started things off with a full hold on Blizzard World and then followed that up with a win on Horizon to take the 2-0 lead over the Mayhem into the half. Welcome back, everyone, to the desk. You have Golden Boy alongside with Bren Reinforce. Our last halftime of the regular season.
All time.
Yeah.
All time.
Of all time. You know, that's not true.
No,
That's not true at all.
I hope not.
No, yeah, well, maybe for you it's the last halftime of the season, but I don't know. I think our boss is up there, Nate, so I'm going to assume that this is, yes. It's the,
Oh, you want to zoom in on that?
You
Oh,
got to
I'm so
zoom in. You
sorry.
got to zoom in on the love
I
right
really,
here.
I
Here it
baited
is.
you out of that
This
one.
is,
There you
these
go.
are
Look
goals.
at this.
These are goals.
Happens every time.
All right,
Every
so normally we like to do the really highlights and stuff like that, go into that, but this time, no. This time, because there's just a lot to talk about here.
There is, yeah.
So I need to be, you know, incited. I don't even know where I'm going with this.
Educated.
I need to be educated with some insightfulness.
Yeah.
And I think this is going to lead us into our insights, powered by Intel. Bren,
I got some
educate me.
I got, what did you just say?
Educate.
You? Sure, I can educate you all you like, mate. So I'm going to talk about essentially the double sniper composition that Boston Uprising have been running. So it's super simple. I just want you to concentrate on Striker, mistakes, and the way they run it on King's Row is essentially you just deny a bunch of area. So Striker's controlling this entire area here, mistakes controlling all of this area, and it puts Florida Mayhem in a bit of a sticky situation now because they have to play in this little corridor back here. but they still have to contest the point. If they don't contest this point here, they're going to end up obviously losing it. You know, getting off the point is bad, as we've found out in the Overwatch League so far over the course of the entire season. So they have no choice realistically but to put at least some bodies onto the point, and that's going to be the tank line. But without the tank line, suddenly Zebasite and Zuppe are just essentially free kills for mistakes or Striker, whoever gets there first. And I'll play this out and you'll see exactly what I mean. So the tanks, they have to play the point, they have to contest it, they have to stop the cap time going up for the Boston Uprising, but that completely leaves the back lines open to this composition that's being ran. And double sniper, it's tried, it's tested, it's an ancient composition, honestly. People have been running it for quite some time in the history of Overwatch. Back in at least ancient
I could say that, and it would be legit.
As far as I'm aware. What's that?
I could say that, and it would be legit, like
Possibly.
back in my day.
That's true.
Could you? You're the same age as me.
Yeah, but like,
well, I was a player. You get the reference.
No, Johnny.
Just go with it. Just go with it.
Back
Let
when,
me have it.
Okay.
That's all I.
Back when Reinforce was a player, which was like, you know, way back when.
God, when was that?
You know, I mean, forever ago. He was just earth-shattering everything and missing all his targets. And now he's here at the desk with us.
Yeah,
you
To break
know?
down these
I love it.
highlights.
Break down
Pow.
these delicious highlights. There we go. Kings Row and Horizon were your first two
With
games.
my friends, right? We're friends.
We're buddies. I love
Nice. I like that. At least I
Okay.
have something. So, actually, Mistakes Hansa was pretty sick on King's
Oh,
Row.
it's
He got
nuts.
a lot of highlights. And I mean, these headshots, this is a great highlight reel for some future compilation of those. And really, I was impressed by the way Boston Uprising executed with this double sniper composition. We talked a lot about Boston Uprising and their struggles so far this stage, but it really feels like they found the groove with at least a few compositions. Junkrat, Widowmaker, Orisa being one of those, double sniper being another one, which they run a lot on King's Row and the Blizzard one specifically. So it feels like Boston Uprising, they're coming to terms with the meta, and that could be hugely important going into the playoffs.
Oh, goodness me. Yeah, Boston really just demolished them, actually, on this map, it felt like. And they like you said, Johnny, they're really good at using the double sniper, the Junkrat in particular as well. Mistakes and Striker have both been known to flex onto this role, onto the Junkrat. These spam compositions are really good at shutting down a lot of the tanks that people like to run on Kings Row in particular. And Boston, they seem like they're on old form. Horizon, though, it was looking a bit shaky for a time. Well, it wasn't as one-sided, so Florida didn't get full health, you know, as I was actually expecting, like we saw in the Kings Row game. Instead, you know, Boston just, again, experimenting with a couple of things. They put Neko running a solo support composition, very common on Horizon. We see a lot of Sombra being played, but again, they did end up taking this map in particular, just with this solid team play that we've been seeing them steadily work towards.
Yeah, Florida hasn't really been allowed to play in this game, really, because Boston Uprising, what they are so great at are these big defensive setups where you have set positions and set rotations and set executes. And that's what the Boston Uprising are so good at. So you go onto Horizon Lunar Colony, an assault map, and it's all about the slow, patient play, setting up that. So there were some shades of Krusty, really, when you saw this attack coming out with the Sombra and the Tracer and Winston. And even on King's Row, because you have to remember, right, because Florida Mayhem, they were held on point A, and it was because of Boston Uprising's sick defense, really, where they had a great setup onto the high ground with all the correct rotations and the executes. So in many ways, Florida Mayhem haven't been allowed to play this kind of brawly style, which, you know, comes down more to mechanical skill, because Boston Uprising, they're so great at these fundamentals, these great setups, really, and really that just leads to a 2-0 so far in this game.
Do you think that we're starting to see the Stage 2, Stage 3 Boston Uprising starting to come up again? And I mean, what a time to do so, if
Sure.
that's the case.
Yeah, I absolutely do, Golden Boy. I'm glad you brought that up because, like, I mean, I mention it every time I watch Boston, but this was my favorite team to watch in Stage 3. You know, they fell, you know, fell off the wagon. Is that a saying? I believe it is.
Yeah, no,
they've
fell
got
off the
back in
wagon.
the saddle, though, haven't they, now, towards the tail end of Stage 4?
Wagon and then back
Wagon
on the
and
saddle.
saddles, you know, there's horses involved. There's analogies and idioms somewhere.
And I'll also,
spans.
hold on, I'm so sorry to interrupt this real fast because there's some shenanigans going on behind us. And I just need to let everyone know, again, can we please come to the wide camera, that the dab is dead, people, okay? Stop it. Stop it.
It needs to be ended.
We are.
It was behind me. Stop this madness, please. I can see you cut away from
unbelievable stuff.
Only Mitch Leslie is allowed to dab.
No, not even him. Not anymore, mate. He's a grown man. Don't let him get away with that.
He's an adult.
Not really.
You can't do this. You can't do this. Anyway, so while we go ahead and bury the dab 6 feet under, we're going to go to a commercial break. Coming up next is going to be Lijiang and Gibraltar. Let's see how this one shakes out. We'll catch you in a few.
Don't miss the first ever Overwatch League playoffs live in Los Angeles at Blizzard Arena. Tickets are on sale now at esportsaccess.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The Boston Uprising currently hold the 2-0 lead over the Florida Mayhem so far. And the Mayhem, they need to get into this game seriously because Boston's getting ready to clinch that third place spot, that third seed in the playoffs. But speaking of the Mayhem, tonight's Q&A is with Zupe. So anybody who has questions to ask him about how it's been playing with the Mayhem, how the season's going, what he's going to do in the offseason, this, that, and the third, tonight is the night to do it for the Q&A after the matches have all wrapped up. And again, I want to stress the fact that I really want to see Golden Boy fight that bear. Blizzard Arena, you guys still on that train? Can we do the chant again? Yo, fight the bear! Fight the bear! Fight the bear! Oh, Golden Boy! All right.
El Nino Dorado accepts the challenge. All stars, it's gonna go down. Raw!
You heard it right here. It's going down at the All-Star game. But guys, it's our last half of the regular season, so let's get back into the action with our casters, Similar and Hex.
Thank you, Malik. Final high five on the stage, bro. There we go. All right, I mean, that's just Golden Boy saying, "Oh no, I'm sick. I saw a bear in this building today, Hex. He's dodging. That's why I'm just gonna throw him under the bus."
No, he's a hype man. He's
a
building up.
showman?
He is a
Is that
showman.
it?
That's right.
It's fitting
I'm
to
just
his
so
great
glad that
wrestling match.
the El
Okay.
Nino Dorado character has finally come to life because I believe it was hatched at like Contender Season 1. This has been an idea we've been kicking around for a while. I think I want him to fight.
Yeah, I wish his voice wasn't struggling today because he could really give.
Yeah, you oughta. Yeah. But hey, that's what he loves you so much that he even screams when his throat is just barely holding on.
Yeah. No, I mean, dude, lots of hot toddies tonight for a Golden Boy. That's gonna be what is necessary. So, We're getting into it, second half of this match, 2 maps remaining, and it's a question of whether or not Florida Mayhem can come up with the goods going into the remaining 2. Taking a quick gander at the rosters, there have been no changes, no subs.
Nope.
So it's really going to be, Zappis, Swoosh, Logix, Tvik, can these guys lock together and perform?
Yeah, I mean, this is a phrase that I used when talking about Dallas, I think mid-stage 2 or something. Like, you got to find something to play for, right? There's not anything really at stake for Florida except for pride right now. Come out, win a fight, win a stage, get something on the board that looks pretty decent for you. Lunar Colony looked a lot better than King's Row, of course, but Lijiang Tower has not been kind to Florida in this stage. 0-4 on it. Boston is a little bit better at 1-3. So this one's a coin flip. Florida would love to end the season on a win here. And Boston still trying to lock up that 3rd seed for the season playoffs. See what everyone's got here on Night Market.
Wow, very quick play coming in here from them, and that is to be expected because we got the big beef here for Boston Uprising. Everybody out onto the point. Striker will be trying to build up that energy as quickly as possible. On the other side of things, Florida Mayhem, perhaps predicting this, they've gone for some Pharah play. Tvik, you see a lot of Pharah on this point, but that is going to be pretty solid here.
Well, they've got him in the hammer and anvil kind of position because Tvik is floating in the backside. Is exactly where you want to be as a Pharah, just fighting in all the free damage. Meanwhile, the front line has to pay attention to all the other damage coming in front side. Alex will be the first to fall in this. I do believe that they will clean up the rest of it. Just too much damage. Projectiles coming in from the front, cracking shields, Tvik in behind. And this is a map that running Pharah on, you know where she's coming from. You know that she's not just going to float out in the courtyard to be ripped apart by any sort of hit scan DPS you might have. You always play the windows back here, and this is Swoosh picking up the last couple of kills, I believe, on what you would call softened targets.
Indeed. You describe it perfectly, Hex. You're an artiste. And hammer and anvil, rocket and grenade. It's just whichever way you go, you can only point that shield one way, or you'll get wiped out immediately. There's the barrage, point blank, get out. I thought for a second that Boston would even just go for the switch after losing so quickly on the first fight. Just change the roster, go for something that will be able to handle this a bit better.
If that fight went on a little bit longer, it makes a lot more sense because then you start getting into your Earth Shatters and your Gravitons. That's why I don't mind giving it a second go and see where your percentages lie after that. Also, Coalescence almost online. And it seems like since they've already committed 2, you gotta commit the 3rd time around here. Once you get control with this comp, it's very hard to crack, but another beautiful entry pick. Might be time to start thinking about changes now, but again, only 50% for Florida Mayhem. Boston might be all in on this composition, and as I just mentioned, once you get control, you can hold it for a full 99.
Well, they've got mistakes on the Tracer now. That is going to be the one concede. But just got to build these ultimates and hope you have a good fight within the, very soon now, as mistakes will be the ones to kind of put some pressure on the point. Might allow for the flip. Florida could just be trying to focus on this fight that's coming up. Tvik pumping rockets into him. Gamsu's still at half HP, though, just barely out of range. Moira will be able to eventually get there to heal him up again.
Tvik just putting in work damage-wise here. No one's really even shot at him. You could probably take the Pharah off Tvik because no one's shooting at him.
Yeah, exactly. Zupe gonna get the transcend. Tvik with another barrage. Unloading. And there's the grab getting thrown in. Self-destruct is there. Shatter is there from Gamsu as well. And they are cleaning up with the double self-destruct. Zupe and Swoosh dead.
Great work there. The self-destruct was just sitting in the corner and everyone thought they were safe behind the shield. You cracked the shield, you cracked the code. They will finally take control of this point. The problematic issue is, one of the reasons you're able to hold control of this point with many tanks is that you use Graviton one fight or Shatter the next, rinse and repeat, one builds to the other. They had to use both in that last fight.
Yes, they're going to be somewhat limited in their options. Another tire coming through now. Very quick work from Logix. Always ready with the tire, doing a bit of the dodge. Oh, he tried to throw him for a fast one there. I like it. Didn't quite happen. And well, mistakes floating along on the edges here. He's got his pulse. Could try to look for it.
You want to go this back right corner. That's where you know the projectiles are going to be hanging out.
Or you get the stick, and you let Swoosh run it right into him. Heart attack moment there for Zupe. Logix as well, counting his lucky stars. He didn't get taken out by his tank.
Now everyone very low too. Mistakes trying to farm up this pulse bomb. He's got Zupe in his sights. Recall not available.
Oh, mistakes. He knows we were watching him.
They reset anyway. It's fine. They should be okay. Logic's the only one alive here. He's going to take the Slide off of Lijiang Tower as well to rejoin his team. And you know what? Mistakes. I've never made that mistake in my life, ever playing Tracer, so.
Neither have I. Not once. Not even have I come
clearly,
close.
I'm Overwatch League material. If only I could actually hit people.
Exactly. as far as A was concerned. Vic, hey, there it is. You see it, he just comes flying out. It's like a dive bomb. Straight in. Double kill, including the D-Mech. While Logix is still here, just throw grenades and to throw people out of position. Logix again with the tires right over the top. No hesitation here. No snipe possible from Gamsu. Tried to get him with the fire, but it's not going to happen.
Vig's at 4 barrage kills. He's doing 40% of his team's damage. Right there is a nice coalescence, though, into Graviton. A nice little ultimate combination there. Actually, I don't even think that was coalescence. That's an orb. Sorry.
Yeah, he's just chucking it in.
Surprised, just able to finish off those targets. Coalescence at 40%. But now they will have Shatter up as well. And this is why you stick to the composition despite losing the first 3 engagements. Because it can be so snowbally like this.
Once you get established, once you figured it out, you made the necessary adjustments. Mistakes on Tracer, that's made the difference. There's the Shatter coming through. Bubbles a little bit late there from Swoosh. Could get the D-Mech on note. He doesn't care. He's got a self-destruct. He'll force you off the point. And he even gets the kill onto Vic. That's going to be it. Boston Uprising. 95% for Florida. Boston Uprising run it all the way back.
Let's take a look at one of the reasons that Boston was able to pull it back. It's good to see Neko get in here too. I thought he was always a very good Zenyatta, but his Moira has looked very good. This is post-grab, so good. I'm glad I got the clarification. Huh? You know, Custom may be Mr. Steal Your Girl, but Neko's Mr. Steal Your Life while you're sitting in a Graviton.
Draining. It's a draining experience being around Moira. She's stressful.
Again, is this another free-for-all flashback for you?
Yes. Match. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Actually.
She's just sitting in the basement throwing orbs against walls. I quit. I'm out.
Yeah. Can't kill her because she's leeching you the entire time. Oh, yeah, I'm going to get it. Nope, babe. Ah! All right. Big beef here for Boston Uprising. And nearly matched by Florida except for one wrinkle. It's big on the Doom.
Doomfist with Zarya was always theorized. The moment Doomfist was released, we're like, oh, you throw a bubble on him, he just goes in, it helps the Zarya, it helps the Fizz. Look at this health he's already just sitting up at. And to get more health if he starts hitting some of these shots. Meanwhile, his tanks have gone down to the tanks of Boston Uprising.
Is that some low-key shade he had to throw there?
Well, I mean, I thought he was all healthy, but he was just getting healed. There's no blue at the end of his name. You know, you get a little bit of shielding if you start actually hitting abilities. Civic didn't hit anything. Sorry, that happened.
There you go.
Hey, I don't want to lie to the folks at home. The only person I lie to is myself every day.
Yeah, we're great deceivers. But, I mean, he had a bit of blue at the start, but you're right. Towards the end there. That was clever. Now we get the hold at the door. Gamsu's got the Shatter. As soon as they come through here, it's going to turn into the game. But they don't waste any time. It's going to be the grab thrown in. Logix is there with Zupe on the Coalesce. 2-3 quick kills. Vic gets overwhelmed by mistakes. And it's looking like Florida Mayhem are just looking to charge onto this point.
Zephyr puts Neko off the edge there as he was just hanging out. And they will clean this up eventually. It's only mistakes on the point, just trying to trade his life for some percentage points there. They will end up a little over 40. On the swing back, though, Gamsu and Striker will have their ultimates. They only had to use Graveler, didn't have to double down and throw in a Earth Shatter. Tragically, I would love to see Grav with the Meteor Strike, sometimes dubbed the Space Jam, which I think the community nailed that one.
Yeah, definitely. It's jam. Definitely. I hope that we could actually get to see that. It could. Logix, he's not too far off of Grav. We will get to Striker opening it up. The Coalescence is there. Self-destruct as well. Some ultimates getting thrown in. And Tavik decides to not be patient and wait. He doesn't care what you want, Hex.
Might get it back. I'm rooting for him. I love watching Doomfist play. It is the most entertaining hero to spectate in all of Overwatch. Vic strikes down Striker with the Thanos Gauntlet. Now just swinging away Meryl. My Florida Mayhem will take the lead.
44% and rolling. Florida sticking to their guns or their fists.
Well, they used Grav in that last fight as well, so.
There's still a chance.
Unfortunately,
right.
Florida's not just trying to placate what I want to see on screen, which is tragic, really.
Oh, well, there's the punch. Looking for the kill. Striker hanging in there. Tavik, thanks to the sound barrier, will survive, it looks like. Able to reposition himself and fall back to the point. It's the thing with the fist, if you don't hit anything.
Lining up, though. 75%, 80%. And Graviton's about ready. They're getting near each other on the combo. Please, Florida.
Come on, Tavik, survive. Ah, he does it. He dies.
It's all right. No, Logix, why'd you throw it away?
Ruining it. There's the grab.
Oh, and it doesn't even get any kills. The Coalescence comes through, strikes down Swoosh, who was trying to clean up that grab, heals up everybody else. And my dreams have been dashed for the moment. 46%, nearly 50 for Boston Uprising on control here. They are looking to lock up the series and the 3rd seed. If they win this stage, they will do just that. Florida Mayhem trying to bring this one back. It's the best they've looked at any stage so far. Or any map, rather. They had a good stage last stage.
Bit of the AoE hurt there. Tick is, I mean, he can go for the death drop. Yep, sure enough, looking for it. Zappis with a double kill as well in the back line. Domso mistakes caught. Meteor Strike not quite connecting, but Vic doing a good job just staying alive at this point.
Meteor Strike's a difficult ultimate to use. Oftentimes you use it largely just to reposition or as an escape mechanism. You're not necessarily always trying to land on a target unless they're completely unaware or locked down, but you want to land near where you want to go next. So you land it and then you hit your next fist strike. Meanwhile, Florida has taken back the point. 100%, no one's there.
What is going on? It's like Zevo snuck the entire way through. It's just ult Fiesta out there by the spawn. Just everything in the kitchen sink getting thrown in. And then in the meantime, Zevo's there to just sneak the point.
Well, Zappis is the new addition to this Florida team. Let's see what he is adding to this. Does get himself a couple of kills here, right on the ledge. Drops down, did not expecting that one.
Wow.
You had the Reinhardt right there with the shield. You just caught unawares. There's a lot of really cool small tech that you can do with self-destructs. Put it up on a ledge and kind of, hip check it off. Yeah.
That almost feels like, those corny action movies where they tied like a log up in a tree and it comes swinging out of nowhere when you walk under the tree.
Did you just imply that Predator is a corny action movie?
Dude.
We are going to have words after this match.
I was going to go for some kind of like, I was going to go for a little bit of the, all right, never mind. We'll get back to that later.
Is a conversation we will have with the
I was going to ask, was the mech clicking as it dropped down? Was it going to impale him?
All right, this is a big stage for Florida to try to salvage something out of the series. The series not over yet. Boston up 2-0, 1-1 on Lijiang Tower. We do have a Tracer and Widow on both sides. That is the preferred DPS for both teams.
Exactly. Go back to the comfort picks, get in here and do the harm, do the damage. 92% nearly got the pulse bomb already here, Logix.
Point snuck away, though, early on by Boston, and they will clean up on the retreat. Zupe goes down here in Boston with the aggressive chase. I like it. This is a cool angle, too. I'm just going to let Zappis take that way out instead of trying to plunk him down and get a little more percent.
I don't care about what you want, Hex, but he's all about me right there, Striker. He knows I'm a happy man now.
All right. A little lurking mistakes, waiting to hit that pulse bomb. He's probably lurking over here because a lot of Widows have liked to try to set up through this room and start firing onto the point when the skirmish actually begins. There's the Widow, there's the stick. Time for me to buy a lottery ticket.
That was sick. Mistakes making a bit of a statement there. I'll get you. And find style as well. Style is everything.
Aggressive chase down too. We'll clean up absolutely everything. You're not getting out. Team kill on the board.
50% and counting. This is the 3rd point. This is it. Florida needs to flip this point. They haven't had a chance in this series. Boston are looking at match point right now.
They haven't had to really do anything. The pulse bomb started off that fight, then they just chase it all down. On the other side of things, though, same can be said for the Florida Mayhem. We're entering the ultimate phase of the game. See how the support ultimates are executed for either side.
Well, Zevo side decides to get the wings out immediately. An attempt there by Logix to do the same. Doesn't quite work out for him. Logix will continue to farm up the next pulse. No shocker there. Striker has been spotted, but he can see through walls, gets the body shot. Zupe has to go for the trance just to keep everything running here. He will be floating in, trying to keep his team up, but it's too little too late. Zebasai and Zappis are already dead.
I like that Widows with a pocket don't even turn around to acknowledge the Winston's existence. He's getting zapped down. He's like, I'm busy. We gotta make shots on the other team. Takes them down 95% and counting. Zebosai on the Lucio should be able to touch the point. Zappis will get in first. They need to find something here. They don't have any ults to work with.
Oh, wow, this zoning pulse. He barely squeaks past. Zevo not going to be allowed to survive. Mistakes right now. He's going on a tear. All of the kills. Logix is still running around. He will be able to touch the point to keep it going here. The contest on overtime, but eventually Tuvik will die. Logix hanging on by a thread, running out of HP. Neko, point blank, headshot. Goodbye. And that's going to be it. Boston Uprising will emerge victorious in the series, 3-0.
They've locked up the number 3 seed. That last stage, extremely dominant. Mistakes back to his roots on the Tracer play. We will finish out the Overwatch League regular series with map number 4 right after this break.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League. Intel. Intel Core i7 powers the Overwatch League. And by T-Mobile, America's fastest network ever.
You have to be able to be part of a team.
You need to be at the right place at the right time.
They know exactly what they want to do every fight.
People talk about history. I want to be in that discussion.
All right, welcome back from the break, everybody. It is, as you guys can see now, Boston Uprising winning the series 3-0. We still have the map to play. It's going to be Gibraltar between the two. So we get to see what's going to be happening here for Boston. Maybe a bit of an IDDQD moment.
Maybe. We'll see. Well, I think we're having some tech issues, so let's leave that simmering for now. But it's good for Boston to end the season kind of on an uptick after how disastrous Stage 4 opened for them. This is a team that, you look at them, they have talent, and if you ask them, hey, what happened? What happened to you guys? Did you just get bad? No, it's just the meta. The meta shifted entirely. It's a team that ran full dive. Gamsu was he was always at the top of my list when it came to Winston dive tanks. Wherever Gamsu went, Striker would soon follow, and there was an amazing duo on that. But now you have to learn new heroes, you have to learn new strategies, new positions, and you have to unlearn a lot of your habits as well. Of like, no, this is where I always go, but I'm not Tracer anymore, so I got to go this way. And you got to learn all of the different nuances, and I think they're putting it together at the right time.
Dude, I think it's you can't forget as well that you got to learn to enjoy sandwiches without the crust. You know, because they've been, before sandwiches were crusty.
Yeah.
They chopped off that crust, and I mean, something was lacking there, and they had to get used to it. We had to give them time to get used to it.
So Bren is a big fan of the Church of Krusty, so much so that Krusty like even stopped him in the hallway. He's like,
no, actually, it would be more like this. This is how you.
Krusty's just like, will you please stop wearing shirts with my face on them? It's getting strange, friends. I appreciate all the praise and admiration, but this is getting weird, and I know I might have called.
What repercussions does Bren run, though, in the Church of Crust when he tore the picture? It's like, it's bad enough that he wears the picture of the patron, but to tear it in half?
Yes.
I don't know. Crust might have some words with him later.
As he should. Do not disrespect your demigods and deities. He will be on the wrong end of the wrath of the crust.
Well, I think we've had enough of a fun here. Let's go ahead and take a look at the sub.
Got in the game?
That's coming in for the Boston Uprising guys, and we shall see. Boom.
Yeah.
There we
Snow
go.
is coming in. Have you ever seen it snow in Los Angeles?
Reference game on point. Actually, doesn't happen. But if you go to Malibu, it can happen.
Fair enough.
But there you go. Snow joining it up. He will be playing in the final map of this series on Gibraltar. There will be no fifth map, unfortunately. But this map, Gibraltar, we'll see what he has to bring to the table here, as he will be subbing in for the main healing role. So, expect kind of some Mercy out of him. Some Mercy, some Lucio, right? We'll see that kind of float.
Yeah.
But as far as the rest of the setup is concerned between both of these teams.
Give him some time. So I believe it's his first time playing in the regular season of the Overwatch League. So Snow is going to come in, play a little bit of the Mercy for these teams as we go to Gibraltar, which, I'm not all that deep into the analysis of the game, but I think we're going to see some Widow play.
Really?
Yeah, there might
be
a little bit of Widow play. But as I said, the stakes already locked up. This one is just for fun now. Boston has locked up the third seed. They, I believe, are locked in to play Philadelphia in the season playoffs. Their record overall on them, 2-2. We'll get into that going into the coming weeks as we go through. Well, we got stage playoffs still tomorrow. Then we got some time off, season playoffs, as we culminate the inaugural season of the Overwatch League.
So the attack out, mistakes, and Striker running double sniper. Gamsu will be on the, interestingly enough, Gamsu will be on the Brigida.
Yeah, let's get some Mercy POV. Let's get our boy Snow some camera time.
Love it.
I've only seen this POV in Mystery Heroes, so it's interesting to me to watch what Mercy play is actually supposed to look like. And I don't have the wand out either.
No, yeah, you just go full battle first.
I blast
Listen, Neptuno, we all know that he's your spirit animal. Bren's got the crust. You've got the Neptuno.
Alright, so we will commence Widow battles. Odd that there's no tanks up here trying to stop Striker from getting in this position. Now they come in a little bit second late. We'll have to fall below, see if he can get anything going there. Logic's just been camping that back right corner, trying to get angles. The rest of his team is playing server room.
Oh, he survived. He survived the combo. His teammate didn't, sadly, but he did. Mistakes.
Yeah, I think that he was getting a lot of great healing from Snow. The Dragon Strike will come in just to look pretty, to liven up the map right there. Snow's gonna res Neko, but it is all Florida, that very first fight. Florida
is wishing he had the dash.
Yeah, Florida has done this strange thing a couple times where they put their DPS on the high ground, they put tanks on the low ground, and then the supports alone in the server room. And there's been times where they've had to come save their supports in that scenario. I'm not sure of the strategy behind it. That's a nice shot from Logix. We know what Mr. Logix is capable of. Striker.
Capable of dying.
Striker gets him back. Yeah.
He will be rezzed up, though. Bubble, everything there to support that Mercy going for the res. That's upside, bringing Logix back into the fight. Unending, and yep, there it is, the instant stun. But hey, traded right back. Turns out that Gamsu's still in this mix as well. He will get overwhelmed, however. Discord Orb means that Tvick is just chunking him. Too much damage, and so far so good here for Florida.
Tvick holding strong up here, gonna deny any sort of tanks up here. I believe that's 2-1 Striker in the Widow duel so far. I may have missed one early though, so don't take that as gospel. Stakes will go down again to Tvick, who's just been a madman. He throws down that rally as well, charging forward.
Zupe got a bit of the armor. Not a whole lot, not a full stack. Zevo neither, so, but they just look like they just wanted to use it to facilitate the fight versus Boston, take it to them. Boston Uprising, however, on their side of things, bit of a better rally. Lots of armor generated here for the supports.
Yeah, this is the interesting composition that Boston has tried as well. They put Gamsu on the Brigitte, and they run it with just a D.Va as their primary tank. So triple support, double DPS, and a solo tank being the D.Va, which I think it's just an interesting style. A lot of teams don't do this, don't really know how to handle it either.
You can see Striker realizing he was getting within that death range of the bash. It's like backing off like, no, 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 no. Don't want him to hear.
My personal opinion, the death range of Brigitte is she on my screen? Do I see her? I'm out. I'm blinking 3 times away.
Mistakes, he's got the dragon again. So let's see if he's gonna be able to line it up this time for a good one. If this is a nice spot, drop it like high ground, low ground as they try to rush through, push through the choke point.
It does seem like Florida is split up though, so he's not going to get this enormous value dragon as everyone tries to go bottom left. Bottom left is usually where the supports enter, so that's where you saw the scatter arrow there, but Florida actually does a good job of entering 2x2 in different doors so that this AoE ultimate can't get value. He's going to fire it through anyway, open up some pathway for his team. We'll get it around the bend. It's very important to get it around the bend. It kind of changes where the defense can fight.
Exactly right. Tvik did manage to dodge that dragon, but he gets caught in the end by Note. And now, I mean, it's going to get even better. Striker, how nice. It's like, how nice of you.
Oh. And what did she say there?
I didn't say. I don't know all of her lines.
That's fine. Yeah, you only speak fluent French. I know I'm asking too much of you. Self-destruct is ready on the side of Boston as they continue to push through. Striker popped in for sight. It will eventually fade away. Tvik is on the Genji now. Zevo popped the Valk early. Snow will answer in tune, and now we've got dueling Zoomyanas on the point.
Zooms everywhere, all of the chimes, all of the energy.
He's saying pass into the iris. I speak now.
Yeah. You understand, Hex. You've already had the Matrix. You know this game.
I've been called a robot before, but not in a flattering way. Oh, that's a gutsy resurrection, an ambition resurrection to use the esports nomenclature.
An ambitious, yes, an ambitious play.
Be punished for it. Now they're pushed all the way out of the door, so this is a great stabilizing fight for the Florida Mayhem. Under 2 minutes remain here for the Boston Uprising to push it all the way through the shuttle phase of Watchpoint Gibraltar. Blade up for Tvik.
Looking for the heroics from him, knowing that there's no trance. Only issue is he's got to deal with mistakes. Mistakes can just bash him in the face as soon as he tries to make the play happen. So we'll see when he decides to go for it here. Tvik having to back off along with Swoosh and Zappis. They did go for a bit of a dive push there, but no joy. Instead, choosing to group up together. And Nako will win the duel versus Logix with the headshot. Okay then.
A nice little pick there. Will resurrect him, but it's a resource down. This Blade surprisingly staying sheathed right there. I thought he had a support kill dead to rights. Instead, he becomes a piece of modern art splattered into the wall.
Perhaps because he had lost his support line, deciding not to throw it in there.
Yeah, it's possible, but if he switches,
be a hero.
See what the spawns dictate here. You see the results of the slaughter of Gibraltar. I'm starting to believe that this map is alive, much in the way a Venus flytrap is alive, and it split spawns them so it can feast on the victims who chuck themselves off the edge. The island grows bigger every time a split spawn happens.
You will become a part of me.
It's very much like the Garden of Bones. All right, pushing through around the bend here. Florida trying to mount a defense. Tvik is behind them all, and they should be scrambling from the self-destruct. Tvik with a dash through. Snow and Striker down though, might not even need the blade here. They force out the Transcendence as well.
Yeah, Snow getting picked, that isn't going to help things here for Boston. It's going to take a little bit of time, minute and a half on the clock here for Boston, approaching the third point. Tvik able to dodge out. Still a blade online for him. So let's see if he can make his way over the top and dive straight in on the back line. Yep, exactly that. Finds the first kill, Striker gone, looking for that dash reset, wasting time on the reflex. Can't seem to find the kills, Tvik. What is this? That's right, no, just run him over. It is always a slight letdown when, again, she doesn't seem to get like at least 2 kills with the blade. But
yeah, it seems.
Unless you force the trance, but there wasn't even a trance.
It's usually a super value ultimate where you get at least 1 kill out of every Dragon Blade for the most part. Self-destruct does inexplicably find Swoosh back there, brought back to life though. I think he was in spawn, he thought he was out of it, but he was just, his head peeked over the stairs. You know, big animals sometimes underestimate their size. It's like German Shepherds think of their lap dogs.
Rogers, the body shot. Doesn't get the follow-up. All right, so this is starting to get a bit interesting though, just because 30 seconds left on the clock means that Boston don't have a whole lot of room for error. They have an advantage in ults as well. Trance on Nako, excellent. Snow's in the lead towards his Valve. And now you've got a Primal to work with as well as the Infrasight. Let's go, Boston. You set it up, you played it patient, now is the time to execute.
Smart from Logic, so to wait on his Infrasight. He wasn't going to engage anyway. They force out a Transcendence in the backline, but they're going to use it to move forward.
Yeah, they're pushing forward, trying to follow up with these tanks. Close that gap. Zappis, wise of him. He was, oh, nicely done. Nako dead, but Zappis was delaying that card. It has not made any progress in this push.
Mistakes has rewind on cooldown. Should be able to finish this. Using the architecture to his advantage. Blinks out. What a magician tracer move that was.
Somehow survives it, but that means that his tanks are just getting pummeled in the meantime. Self-destruct thrown in by Note. Not going to find any targets. Went off a bit too high, it looks like. So he keeps the fight rolling here on the point. Mistakes still alive as well with that orb on him. And now we have Snow. We have Nako. Snow has got the Valk Wings out, and he's going for the res. This time he will pull it off.
I just saw a preview of a new game mode that I desperately need. We need Doomfist versus Primal Rage Winstons, and that is the entire game. That's it. That's the fighting game we need to develop in Overwatch. Boston keeps pushing though. A couple of late kills. It's Striker on the Doomfist. He's going to be guarding the door here. We're going to zoom Yada out though.
Yeah, he tries to. Now it's, wow, Doomfist on Doomfist. There's the Meteor Strike. There's the dead Zebasai. Striker coming up with the goods. Swoosh alive on the point. We will have Logix launching himself through. Not quite finding the target though, and he will get tased to death. Somehow Boston Uprising have succeeded in picking up all 3 points here with 30 seconds on the clock. They execute in the end. In overtime, they will find 3.
Finish it off. The Striker Doomfist comes in. He got battered around by Primal Rage. Then in midair, he sets up a rocket punch, punches that Winston back. It's a fun little mini game in the middle of it. Smile, Mr. Danilov.
Well, it's good to see Boston smiling a bit. I mean, wins obviously helped, but they were looking pretty grim for a while there.
That's always the adage in sports, is that winning fixes almost everything. But let's take a look at Striker's 2K here on the Doomfist.
Walked by the door. There's no getting away from this. Ka-chunk.
Now I want that added to the game where old-timey, like, you know how the old Batman used to do it? Like the 1960s Batman, where they'd hit people and be like, kapow!
Oh, right.
Blammo!
Oh, yeah, wham!
We need that kind of skin for Doomfist, and then also every time he hits someone, it's got to say Kerchunk.
Is it like a Kersplat, maybe?
Kersplat.
Kersplat.
If they hit the wall.
Exactly. It's like
if they
right
don't
down.
hit the wall afterwards.
Okay, that's fair. But like on a meteor strike.
Workshop like this.
We gotta figure it out, man. You know, devs gotta send messages to
We're
them.
driving to
Keep
Irvine
on
on Monday morning, and we're knocking on the Blizzard campus and be like, I got this sketchbook and a really rough idea. Can you guys make it happen?
That's right, Jeff is just like, yes, hold on, let me put it in my messages received folder, and it's just a trash can.
Yeah, Papa Jeff was here today.
He was here today.
He was here to see him.
There was a distinct lack of Papa Jeff signs in the crowd, though, so
yeah, they didn't know. No, Jeff's not a big ego guy. Just wanted to stop by, show some people the studio.
What was fun is that I got to meet Papa Jeff's papa.
Yeah.
His parents were here too.
That was cool. Whom I also would not wrestle with.
No, super cool. Well, it is closing to the end of the stage here, guys. It is closing to the end of the season, and this is now closing in on the end of this map series. As we are going into it, Florida Mayhem now, as the home team, will be changing sides. We'll get on that offense. Boston Uprising on the defense. Bit of an aggressive little just hold there on the balcony, on the bridge, saying hello.
Well, we have mistakes on the Genji. He's just flexing into another hero. He walks right into Tvik, gets stunned, but the rest of his team is there to help him out, let him recover from that shield bash and walk through Tvik. Tvik gets resurrected, though. On the top ground here, Logix and Striker in the everlasting battle of Widow v. Widow. 1,022nd.
Is that a typo?
The Overwatch. No, that sounds about right.
Have we had that many maps?
Yes, we have. It has all gone by in the blink of an eye, and there's still more Overwatch, even tomorrow. And we take a bit of a break, then we figure out who our champions are going to be. After that, when we start off here in Burbank, then we will move to Brooklyn to do all of that work. But still the matter of who wins the final map in the Overwatch regular season.
Let's get into it.
Did I sell it?
Yeah, you did sell it. You did sell it. I was just waiting for you to drop this just a little dart in there. It's very convenient, you know, on airfare, not having to ship the trophy very far after this championship.
Hey, well played.
Still, with how close these teams are, especially getting into playoffs, especially what's going to be fascinating is especially with those playoffs, having time to really prepare for one matchup, one team, whole week. You get rested, you have time to prep properly. It's going to be very interesting to see the level that the teams bring to the playoffs.
I hope teams treat it like the World Cup champions always treat it, where they like take pictures of it touring around town. They give it to a player for a week, and he takes it to like vacation somewhere.
Eats his Cheerios out of it in the morning. You know?
The trophy for the Overwatch League should have its own Instagram that we can follow its travels through the off season.
Yes.
I'm full of good.
You're full of. I was about to say you're full of good ideas today, Hex.
It's such a rarity that we have to call it out. I think I'm more fun when I'm full of bad ideas.
Stop patting yourself on the back.
I can't even reach that far. I got
Swoosh looking to punch some people in the face. He is connecting a bit there with Striker. Striker, however, is getting pocketed, will survive. Swoosh is going to back off to the point. We have the rally getting thrown into it here by Vic. Zupe hanging on thanks to that. The armor making the difference, but they're dropping teammates like flies left and right. Boston Uprising right now are just running them.
Striker's dropping teammates like flies. He picked himself a very easy 3K. The rest will be cleaned up by his group of force who is sitting pretty far forward. They're playing this a little more aggressive than most teams do. Yeah, just having a little bit more fun with it. Up over the top. 1, 2, 3.
Clean.
Coincidentally, how many licks it takes to get this in a versus 2? Just really showing my age right there.
I mean, okay, just hoot for me. I mean, it is fitting that it's the Owl League right now.
Yes, it is. That is the name of our WhatsApp group. Hoot hoot, my friend. That's what it says, I swear.
So, Boston Uprising right now with exactly a minute left on the clock to hold on the first point. Florida Mayhem kind of throwing themselves in here repeatedly. We have had a change in the roster for Florida as well to Vic on the Tracer now.
Some Tracer, try to get some pressure on the Striker as he's been bodying people, maybe even pressure down some of the supports, but could also just try to sneak some pressure onto the cart. They do have someone back there. Vic all the way back and Gecko with the headshot.
Oh, mistakes, this is it. Could be big. There's the one. No, he doesn't get it. Yes, he will find Zupe, but only the Zupe. SMH mistakes.
That's not too bad. Gets it through there. You hear the ominous music. Is it the last ring of the Florida Mayhem here? 15 seconds remain. Got to get on the cart. They do have a self-destruct, and preemptive Valkyrie will be popped.
And Logic's like, why is there a 300-pound monkey tasing me in the back? Where did this guy come from?
Took his hands off the keyboard. Zebosai's back there. Might think about resurrecting him, but that means there's only 3 people up front right now. They do resurrect them, but at the cost of all the support up front, not going to cost them too much, actually. They're going to Transcendence in here.
Yeah, with both of the Transcendences running, this is looking pretty good. Gamsu has still got his Primal as well. He needs to, yep, go ahead, leap right back in, drops the bubble, and if he does get focused, hey, he can get really angry about that.
Striker got bodied off the top, went down, up and over, got a last couple of kills, and that is how Boston will end the season with a clean 4-0 over the Florida Mayhem. You will be seeing them in our season finals later in the Overwatch season. I believe it's next month. I don't even know what day it is at this point in time. It's been a long season, but a great one, especially for the Boston Uprising. Seem to be back on the uptick.
Yes, perfect, near perfect run here from Boston. The only hiccup in this series on the middle 2 maps, Lunar Colony in particular, but they are definitely showing fine form. Congratulations on the victory for Snow as well. And well, this is what we're going to be looking at here, the form of Boston going into the remainder of this season. Are they going to show us what they were capable of in Season 3? Will it happen? We're going to take a quick break, guys, and when we come back, we'll hear what the analysts have to say after the final match of the regular stage.
Are you ready?
Today, you're in for a real treat.
There's no stopping him.
That is it.
There we go. What a wild match.
everyone, welcome back to the desk here. You got Golden Boy alongside with Bren and Reinforce. Boston will take that win 4-0. And, you know, that's going to do it. Our last matchup of the regular season. Oh, boy.
Wow.
Okay. Wow.
Oh, wow.
Wowie, wow, wow. All right, let's take a look at the highlights for the second half there. We started off with Lijiang Tower with some control fun. And again, Boston just continuing to, continuing to go on this path of improvement, which we were expecting them after their stellar performance.
I have to say, you're really confident on Lijiang Tower if we go out with triple tank on this stage in a meta where we see a lot of Pharah play, a lot of Tracer play, usually good for beating down all of these tanks. But Boston Uprising, they go out with the triple tank setup, really, and they just destroy the Florida Mayhem. So really impressive stuff from them, given that their team play is so high, their coordination is so good with this type of composition, that they can make it work in a meta where, I mean, some other teams are struggling with this many tanks in their lineup.
I completely agree. And this was, wow, that was not intentional. Tapis, that
Yep.
whoa, you've just been shown up there, pal. But Control Center was a closer match, Florida ended up taking it, but this final round of Lijiang Tower, and I gotta say, I've been liking now that this incremental improvements that Boston have been making now. I said it last time they played earlier in this week, but they're now looking like a team that can actually put up a fight in the playoffs. They had that 6-loss streak at the start of Stage 4, and now this was their 4th win in a row when it comes to Stage 4, so they just haven't dropped a game since then, since they've got back on track.
Yeah, and I've been worried about Boston, right? Because they were on. I feared that maybe they peaked too early, and that's the absolute worst thing to happen in such a long season like this. But Boston, based off of this game, based off what we've seen in the past so far, it's again, incremental improvements, Johnny.
Absolutely, it is incremental improvements, but still, there are some worrying signs, depending on what patch we'll play in the season playoffs. If Boston Uprising has a hard time adapting to new metas, for example, the new Hanzo might come into play, depending on what we'll see. And so Boston Uprising, they have to step up and be on their A game from the get-go in the season playoffs. You don't have, 5 games to really get good at the game.
Oh, yeah.
Because they were on a sick losing streak at the start of this stage, and that can't happen when you're in the season playoffs.
I wouldn't exactly describe it as sick.
I mean, sick is, it's a bad term.
No, it could be good.
Well,
could be bad,
sick, I use sick. Yo, that's sick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I'm Swedish. This is not how it's supposed to be.
Okay, so that's
It
how
was
it
a
works.
horrible losing
Okay.
streak.
Now we know. Now, hey, listen, it's the Overwatch League where you learn something new every day. In Sweden, sick, it doesn't mean good, it means bad.
Yes,
That's
you're
okay.
sick.
Yeah, I'm sick. Well, yeah, I guess that makes
Exactly.
sense. All right, well, you know what's not sick? I guess our player of the match, sponsored by Omen by HP, and it is going to be Mistakes.
Mistakes have been pretty sick.
So sick.
He's been
The
pretty
sickest
good.
gameplay.
The sickest of players. He was pretty good on the Hanzo at the start of this match, but he's been his real improvements have been the fact that they've been putting him more on Tracer, which is what he's been known for in the past. Before the Overwatch League, this guy used to carry on his Tracer in particular, and now he's brought this, to the Boston Uprising to build around Mistakes, now freeing up the role of Widowmaker to his partner in crime, Striker. But
And the Brigitte as well. He has improved on Brigitte, so you can adapt to the stage 4 meta. So really, Mistakes just shining on all of these new heroes he has had to adapt to, because before he was the Widowmaker player, of course, but now he plays the Tracer, the Brigitte, the Junkrat, the Hanzo. The fact that Mistakes is so good on all of these different heroes, that just really helps the Boston Uprising and managed to get a few wins this stage because of him.
Yeah, well, congratulations once again to Mistakes. But that's it. Our season playoff spots are all locked. So let's take a look at the overall standings and see where we are. So your teams that will be going to the playoffs, you have in 6th the Philadelphia Fusion, then the London Spitfire in 5th. 4th will be the LA Gladiators, the Boston Uprising in 3rd. Then in 2nd and 1st will be the LA Valiant and the NYXL respectively. Now, there's also another caveat to this as well. The performance bonuses is what these players can get.
Money.
NYXL are going to bring home that cash money, baby. 300 Gs for their efforts. Not bad.
what
not
would
bad.
you spend $300,000 on?
Oh, I've been asked this question once before, and it did not end well for me. So.
Overwatch League tokens to buy skins.
I will spend it on loot boxes in Overwatch. There you have it.
Yep.
Boom.
You stole my joke, and the crowd cheered for you.
That's right, because I deliver it very well, Johnny. Okay, so our season playoffs, we're going to have the London Spitfire versus the Los Angeles Gladiators, and then the Philadelphia Fusion against the Boston Uprising. Time TBD. Make sure you follow at Overwatch League and check out overwatchleague.com for more information there. All the action will kick off on July 11th. But right now, we're going to shift our focus over to the Stage 4 playoffs. So let's take a look one last time at our standings. Lots of things here, so we're going to try and guide you through this. 4 teams have made it for the Stage 4 playoffs. The Los Angeles Gladiators in first, the Los Angeles Valiant in second, NYXL in third, and for the first time, the Dallas Fuel in fourth. Very excited for the Fuel.
It was so close.
It was so close. I mean,
Yep.
they recently released a nice little piece of video where they watched the match taking place, the one that decided whether or not they're going to be in the playoffs, you know, cheering on London. It's very heartwarming. I'd give it a watch if you
Exactly. So here's the thing about that. The winner will actually take home $100,000 as well. So lots of cash. I'm jealous.
Cash
Money.
money dollar, bro.
Okay, no, let's not do that right now. We're trying to close the show here, Brent. All right, so now it's time to find out who everyone will be playing tomorrow. And for this, we're going to go to the Gladiators, as it is their pick to see which opponent they're going to face off against tomorrow. So let's send it to Zoe backstage for the decision.
Thank you so much, Golden Boy. Yeah, we know what teams are in, but we do not know who will be playing against you. So now I'm joined by Ark from the NYXL, Taimu from Dallas Fuel, and last but certainly not least, Space from the LA Valiant. Space, you think you're going to see another battle for LA?
Not really sure yet, but a battle for LA would be pretty good.
Yeah, I think the fans would agree with that. Taimu, what's your educated guess? Who will the Gladiators pick?
I think they're going to pick us. They think we're the worst team, so they're going to pick us.
You know what? There's only one way to find out, which is asking the Gladiators, and they happen to be down on the floor with Malik.
Thank you very much, Zoe. I'm here with Shore 4 and David Pay, head coach of the LA Gladiators. We're getting ready to find out who they're going to pick. But first, Shore 4, I'm going to ask you, man, you guys ended the regular season playing some of the best Overwatch that the world has to offer. What was the key to success for you guys as the season ended, getting to this level of play?
I think just continually playing together and trusting each other and just working on our own mechanics and making sure we're trying to play at the highest level we can. And I think we've just gradually got better and better over the stages as like our stage standings have gotten, and we ended up first.
I saw you actually tweet about that, and I was like, the progression, man, it's so good to see that. All right, well, D-Pay, last stage, you guys were the team getting called out. Now you're the team that's going to get to call out someone. So please, everybody's watching, they want to know, who are you guys going to face off against first tomorrow for our stage playoff matches?
Yeah, originally we were going to pick the weakest team, but we realized Boston couldn't have made the stage playoffs.
Yes. Hey, Huck.
Time out. I'm kidding. They slopped us in the playoffs, 3-0. But no, on a more serious note, like kind of as the season gone on, we've like tried to build a gladiator culture here. And one of the biggest principles for us is really like making sure that we can fight through adversity, that we always get back up. And so the team that given us the most adversity this stage was the LA Valiant. So we want to choose them head on.
Woo, okay. Whoa, wait. Wait a second. I gotta know, because you guys actually earlier this stage, y'all swept the Dallas Fuel, and you said that the LA Valiant was able to overcome you guys. Look at these guys. Look at them. They can't believe it. So is that, sure, for, just give me a little bit about the thought process behind picking the LA Valiant.
I mean, I don't really care who we face. I think every team is strong, and we're just going to play our best, and whoever wins, wins.
All right. Well, we're going to start off tomorrow with a Battle of LA. I'm down for that. So let's get Space's reaction to that news and send it on back over to Zoe.
Yeah, I have to hear it now. You guys faced off against the Gladiators 4 times. You beat them 3 out of 4 times. Why do you think they picked you guys?
It's definitely a disrespectful pick, but I personally can respect it. They probably want revenge for the last match. That was like a quick 3-0, convincing win. I don't really know what to expect. The Gladiators have been looking really strong, and I think this will motivate us to win tomorrow. So we'll see you guys then.
All right, well, that is once more a fact. They will see you tomorrow. Now I have to hear it from the other 2 teams. Ark, You know, when you're facing off against the Dallas Fuel, you don't want to come empty-handed. If I were to give you a bag to bring onto stage, what would you fill it with?
Sand?
That one's for you, Internet. Now, what you gonna bring to the stage?
If they're gonna bring the sand, we'll bring the salt.
All right, there we have it. But now it's time to break down tomorrow's matches over at the desk.
I don't know. That was awesome. Okay. All right. First and foremost, the Boston shout out. That was great. Deep crushed it. Okay. So that's my analysis of that. Secondly, we're going to have the Battle of LA tomorrow, which is awesome. Did not expect that at all. It's like, you know, once and for all to determine who is the kings of LA.
It's going to be
This is great. I love it.
Yeah, it's going to be sick. It's going to be sick.
I was losing my mind at Ark's reaction when they chose LA. He was just losing his mind in the back. He couldn't believe it.
They were like, thank you for giving us Dallas Fuel.
These matches, they're going to be pretty sick, though. They are.
Okay, well, let's talk about this, though, because Dallas versus NYXL. I mean, I think you guys could break down LA and LA, the battle for LA, numerous times now. But New York versus Dallas is going to be very interesting because this is, like, the Fuel have been playing better as of late. So this isn't going to be a walk in the park for NYXL.
They have been playing better, but the thing with Dallas Fuel is they started out the stage really good, but they have been looking kind of one-dimensional, right? So a lot of these teams later on as the stage progressed, they managed to figure out the Dallas Fuel. And that is the worry now, going into the stage playoffs, that most of these teams in the league have figured out the Dallas Fuel. And, I mean, New York Excelsior, they have some of the best coaching staff in the league. So I think they're going to be worried, and they have to bring some flavor, some kind of spice, some picante. If they want,
like some salt.
It's not a Golden Boy desk.
Salt is not a flavor.
What?
Salt is a flavor.
Is it a spice?
No, but
it's
salt
a flavor,
is
mate.
it's a thing.
It's salty, but it's not a spice.
Child, you clearly don't cook. Okay, that's all I gotta say about that. My lord. Okay.
Oh, boy.
Bren, give me the pick here. Valiant, Gladiators. Who you got?
Yo, last time, I thought that it was going to be like Gladiators, the aggressive matchup was going to be playing right into Valiant's hands, and I was proven wrong. You know, Valiant came out swinging. They came out hard. They were coming out with different strategies. Like, normally, before that, I was like, yo, Valiant, I think of them as a boring team. Not anymore, mate. Not anymore. They're not a team you can scoff at. These guys are here to win. They're actually a good team. They have these decent strategies, so I'm going to be going Valiant for that one. Like, it makes the most sense, you know? It does make the most sense. They beat them last time, you know, they're out for revenge. Valiant's my pick for that.
Okay. I mean, you also predicted the Shanghai Dragons to win, so.
Mate, don't come at me with that, okay? You can't.
Oh, boy.
I'm down to leave the regular season on that note. I'm happy. Thank you for having me.
It is spicy up here. I like it. All right, well, let's go ahead and take a look at the schedule for tomorrow. It all starts with the Valiant versus the Gladiators, the battle for LA. And then you're going to have the Dallas Fuel going up against the NYXL. And the winner of those matches will face off in the Stage 4 finals for the chance to take home $100,000 and the title of Stage 4 champions. And think about how big that would be for the Fuel to end out their season with a win. I mean, anything's possible. This is going to be nuts. It all kicks off tomorrow at 1 p.m., so you don't want to miss it. And that's actually going to do it for me. Puckett's going to be back on the desk tomorrow.
For us too as well.
Yeah.
For all three of us.
Yeah, that's right. All of us. Hold hands. Hold hands. Quick. Come here. Embrace.
Yeah.
So that's going to do it. Puckett's going to be back tomorrow. Remember to switch over to the Command Center after the show for the Q&A for Zupay from the Florida Mayhem for your all access. Wave it around. And let's do this one more time here, because here's the thing. 20 weeks in a regular season. Finally, it has come to a close. We've had a ton of fun throughout, and honestly, I've been lucky enough to witness some of the best competitive Overwatch we have ever seen. For all of us here at the Overwatch League, we'd like to thank each and every one of you at home for joining us throughout the season, and we can't wait to see what unfolds for the Stage 4 playoffs, and then July for the season playoffs. It's going to be amazing. Thank you. We love you. Let's hold hands. Good night. Good night.